Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to the penultimate round of the Superbet Classic Grand Chess Tour. This is your host Sagar Shah. Welcoming you to this live stream. Along with me is my wonderful partner in crime, Amruta Mokal. Hello, Amruta. How are you doing?
Hey Sagar, I'm amazing, and I guess today the games are going very, very interesting.
Yes, very, very exciting day of chess today, Amruta. And I just want to show our viewers before we start off the standings because a lot is at stake today. The first place is captured by Fabiano Caruana, who's on 4.5 points out of 7. But on the second spot are 3 players with 4 points: Alireza Firouzja, Praggnanandhaa, and Gukesh. And I think it's going to be a massive fight between them for the top spot. Also, just half a point behind them is Nepomniachtchi and MVL with Wesley So, Nodirbek and Anish on 3 and Bogdan-Daniel Deac on 2.5. So quite a
Yeah, very narrow kind of a thing. Like if today Pragg beats Caruana, he could actually become a leader.
Yes, he will actually surpass. So how about first, should we look at that or should we look
Yes.
at Gukesh versus Anish Giri?
Whichever game is the most interesting.
It's
Sagar.
tempting. Let's ask our chat, Amruta. You can have a look what they are saying. Should we look at Pragg's game or should we look Pragg versus Caruana or Gukesh versus Anish Giri?
Okay, let's see. Pragg says Tarang. Gukesh Anish is spicy, says Harsha.
Gukesh Anish.
Gukesh. Oh, nice.
Pragg Caruana, Guki Caruana.
Nightbot, maybe what you should say is rooting for Pragg and Gukesh today to show my support.
Yes.
काफी मेहनत कर रहा है. So I think Gukesh is right now 60%. Shall we go there?
Okay, let's go to Gukesh's game. Guys, Gukesh versus Anish Giri. Very, very important clash here. Not, I guess Anish's chances of winning the tournament are not very high unless he wins both the rounds. But for Gukesh, if he wins today, it might mean a lot. So Gukesh opens the game with d4. And Anish responds back with knight to f6, c4, e6, knight to c3. These days, everyone's allowing the... Which opening, Amruta? Don't say. Let's ask the chat. Guys, what is the name of the opening we are talking about here?
Slav. Himang says, have both Pragg and Gukesh played Deac? I think yes.
Both of them, yes.
Yes. And says Italian. But everybody else says Nimzo.
Guys, Nimzo Indian is the opening. And now Gukesh plays pawn to e3. The Rubinstein system. Castle.
Okay.
And bishop d3. Well,
Isn't it what you used to play?
Yes, it's our line which you used to play.
I used to play from black, you used to play from white. We played so many practice games. And then we got married.
Gukesh I think, likes to play bishop d2 as well. But in this game, he went bishop d3. Pawn to d5, the most solid system for white. And a3 played. Like, you could also go, Amruta, knight f3. You could also go here... knight e2 perhaps. You can also take, but he went a3. Anish took, pawn takes, and he took here.
Bishop takes c5.
And this is the typical way to strike the center. By the way, I'm actually surprised that Anish did not play the course that he made recently on Chessable on the Grunfeld. He came on our stream and talked about it where the bishop goes here. But the essential idea is to strike the center with c5 in Grunfeld. And also here he strikes in the center with c5.
Koi bhi opening mein you have to strike in the center, Sagar.
That is true, Amruta. And here Gukesh had an important choice. Amruta, one was to put his knight f3. The other was to put his knight on e2. And he made a choice here to put the knight on e2. Because by putting the knight on e2, he does several things. One is that he frees his f-pawn. Second is he is threatening to go to... not threatening, he will go to g3. Also, later on after e5, his played, the bishop won't pin the knight here. If it is on f3, it could.
Yeah, because you want to go f3, 4 maybe in the future. That also could be the
Could
idea
be.
because. So let's see how it differs between knight on f3 and knight on e2. What
Yes.
happened later? Because
Very
they've played
quickly, he
many-
will get e5 move because
Knight
now the
c6.
knight doesn't control the e5 square. So he went queen
Queen
c7. His threat is very clear.
Let's ask the chat.
What is the threat here, guys?
Because
For
it's
example,
tactical.
if you castle, why is this a mistake? That's a good question to ask black to play. What is the move?
Himang says this very famous story about Nimzowitsch. After losing a rapid game against a weak opponent, he climbed up on the table and screamed, "Why must I lose to this idiot?" Yeah. Arre, that is a good one.
Really? And then why did he say that?
He lost, na, because
Okay.
against his weak opponent.
Very
So,
interesting.
I should have done that when you beat me.
I think there is a lot to learn from Nimzovich's theories on the board, not off the board.
Himang sharing some dangerous stories.
Okay. By the way, here's the answer that people have come up with. We have C takes D4. Fast Curious, Arya Madhani, Janvi Single, Debarshi Jha, Shrikant R, DJ, no name, just Indian. Amruta, in this one name for me is very interesting. Arya Madhani. He was very little when he used to be here in Ghatkopar. And if I'm not mistaken, if he's the same guy, he's now in Netherlands and he works for the same company that sponsors Anish. That is Optiver.
Oh, really?
Yes.
If he is the same guy.
Yes.
Okay, let's see if you are right or not.
Well, maybe Arya, you can let me know if I am talking about the same Arya as you are. Knight come, so not CD4 of course here, and the bishop is hanging. You have to take with the queen, which is not a good feeling for your pawns. So that's the reason why bishop D3 was played.
Knight c6.
Yes, it's me, he says.
Array, nice, Sagar.
Yes, Arya, good to have you in the chat. We'll make you as a moderator here so that people know you.
So that whenever Anish is there, he will be rooting for Anish.
Yeah, it's a tough thing for Arya because he's maybe rooting for Anish, also for Gukesh.
Cool. No,
F4, by the way, very interesting move by Gukesh because Anish wanted to push his pawn to E5 and Gukesh said, sorry, I'm not letting you do that. Pawn to F4. Now Anish put his pawn on B6 because if my bishop can't come out from here, it has to come out from here. White now castles. Bishop B7. And now Gukesh is thinking, like Amruta, please try to think. What will you do here? You are thinking a little full focus.
like Gukesh.
Yeah, like Gukesh. You are just being like, okay, what should I do now? My bishop is not developed. Should I develop it? My knight is on E2. Yes, it's well placed. Can I put it on G3? What about my rook? What about, there are many questions.
Yes.
And so he decides, by the way, I felt.
Well, what would be your feeling because you played at least even if not the exact same line, but you have a lot of understanding.
Not understanding, but I would definitely think about pushing my pawn to E4 because then I want to push it to E5 as well.
You be worried about the D4 weakness.
I would be.
Okay.
But Gukesh went knight G3. He just left it. He left the knight there.
I would not think of this move because my moves were queen c2 and bishop b2. So, developing one of the piece, at the end of it, wanting the two rooks to connect with each other.
Yes.
But I believe, Sagar, maybe what Gukesh could also have in mind is मुझको भी तो lift करा दे, थोड़ी सी तो lift करा दे.
Right. Let's see.
Little lift इधर, ऐसे छोटू सा, but...
Oh, and Amruta, talking about lift, someone took the lift and came to our house. So right now, knight e7 played here. By the way, guys, all those who are... Knight e7 played here. And Gukesh said, let me go all in. He goes e4, and now he's planning to play e5 and then f5 and then open the bishop and the rook and the knight. He wants to go all in. Okay, Anish says, calm my boy, calm. There's a lot that you have to learn yet. You are just 18. So there is, just calm down, calm down. By the way, guys, many of you noticed that there is a small error on the screen. How many of you did notice it? What is the error? It was a little bit hidden.
किधर?
Chessy says,
क्या
for
है,
July 20 tournament, do I have to register in FIDE, MCA, ICF, all three federations? No. Just MCA is fine, I think. MCA and AICF, not FIDE. Yes, guys. Caruana mentioned instead of Anish. You guys were so right. This is the correct thing. And there we have it. We changed it.
क्या change किया तूने?
Amruta did not get it.
What? No, I did not see. What happened? When I was gone, did things... We have GM Sagar Shah, who is given 304 rupees a few minutes ago.
By the way, guys, on helpchess.org, if you contribute, your name comes up here. And today, in the pinned message, I have put the article that we have published on the work that we did in the year 23-24 with all the funds that you contributed on HelpChess. So everything's written there. All the people who contributed, their names are there. All the players whom we supported, their names are there. How we supported, who are the believers, who are the big believers, everything's there. Thank you all. 54 lakh rupees were raised and supported for Indian chess. So thank you all for being very, very kind and supportive. So many young talents all across the country we have been able to support thanks to this beautiful community that we have built, and I'm very, very grateful for it. Okay. Oh, we have Madhvendra in the chat. Yes, Amruta? Is he there? Did you?
If Himang says, then I trust Himang.
Yes, but where is he? What has he written? Madhvendra is, yes.
Yes, Caruana.
He found the mistake. Very good, Madhvendra. Very sharp.
Karuna.
Okay, Amruta. Huh. No, basically it was Gukesh versus Caruana. Now we changed it to Anish. That was the mistake. Snehashish says, hey Sagar, see you in Singapore. Snehashish, yes. And then when I meet you, turn around, you know, like your name is there here, so that I understand. Oh, that's Snehashish. Okay, by the way, after e4, Anish said I will take, because Anish is under pressure, right? Gukesh is wanting to push the pawn and launch the attack with his pieces. So Anish says, I'm coming in, and this is how you play, guys. Anish says, I'm attacking here and here both.
Double attack.
Double attack is what he's doing. And here's my question to you. Maybe it's a silly question. Bishop e3 defends here and also here because the queen defends. What is the brilliant move here for black? And this is a tough one, guys. I doubt if more than 10 people can find this move, black to play. Let's see how good our chat is. Oh, we also have Samhita in the chat. Samhita is, by the way, very, very talented youngster from Hyderabad, Telangana. She was playing, by the way, Amruta, in Georgia recently. In Georgia at Batumi. And she won the gold medal in under 10 solving competition.
Whoa.
So she is
Solving
a monster
difficult.
at solving, yes.
Yeah, and you know, with that, it also reminds me that in Bhopal, we might have on 20th July, maybe something related with solving competition.
Yes.
If Shatnik goes there, let's see.
But Amruta, for now, everyone has gone wrong, including all the top players in the chat, because they all want to take on e4 one way or the other.
That's what I thought. Okay, do we get another chance?
But you know, Amruta, two people are right. We have Anonymous and Arnub. But okay, guys, we will come to that move. Now, the thing is, everyone wanted to take this pawn. And I sympathize with them, because what they thought is, after I take, bishop takes, e3 hangs, and e4 also hangs. So it's a beautiful line. However, after knight e4, white has a super strong move here, guys. White to play. What do you do? Devi Vemula says, go Anish, crush Gukesh. Well, there is support for everyone in the chat, including Gukesh, Anish. Because Anish is loved by so many people. So is Gukesh. So that's what makes this duel so interesting.
But wait, so is not Gukesh.
But Amruta, our chat has found them. Did you find the move? You're just laughing unnecessarily. You said today to me.
I was going to find, but then I took a look at the chat and then I saw the move. They are suggesting Queen C2 and Rook A7. I was looking at Rook A7, but I did not find Sagar. I agree this is tough. Right now, I'm a little bit exhausted, so this is not a good time for me to think.
Guys, all this excuses are not going to help. Rook C1 is the move and has been found by Rakshit, Sendil,
Rakshit, how did he get
Moksh,
Sendil ke upar?
Abhishek, Morningstar, Karthik, Arjun, Amine, JJ Recipes and Madhvendra, all of them found it. Now the problem with Rook C1, of course, is that if the queen, good move is that you will just lose a piece because you have to keep an eye on the E3 bishop. So you take on A3 and now the rook goes back and says, draw चाहिए क्या?
यहाँ तक भी देखा, but Queen C3, फिर क्या?
Draw. And basically, knight E4 is a draw. That's the reason why, Amruta, you have to go for something stronger here, and the move is bishop A6. The stunning move bishop A6 works beautifully because now after bishop takes A6, queen E3 check, and you lose here because then you lose the E4 pawn as well.
No, you don't. One second. Queen E3, king H1.
Yeah.
Knight E4 because you don't have rook E1.
Yes, rook E1, knight F2.
Yeah.
And no, not knight G3. No. Guys, can you spot how many moves? Now I don't want the move. I want how many moves is it a mate in? It is a mate in how many moves?
Checkmate in dash.
Checkmate in dash
moves.
moves.
New supporter of Indian chess, Swapan Karmarkar. Actually, not new. He was there earlier, but he's again a member. So thank you, Swapan.
Karmakar ji is an amazing personality in Indian chess, Amruta. He is from Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and his son plays chess. I forget his name. Very, very talented young boy from Andaman. He will remind
Karmarkar.
me. And he started his own Twitter page, Swapan Karmarkar, promoting chess in Andamans. Beautiful. And so he posts a lot and he's doing a lot for chess there. By the way, the right answer is it's mate in 4. All those who got 4 is correct. 1, 2,
4,
3 and 4. So mate in 4 is the right answer. Well done all those who spotted this. Fantastic job. And Amruta, now going back to the game. So Gukesh clearly did not fall for this trick. He said to Anish, I'm going to save my rook by...
Mujhko bhi tu lift kara de. Did I not predict this, Sagar?
Amruta, why don't you sing it properly? Sing it fully.
Tuga, you're a good singer.
No, but you should sing.
We're missing Harshit actually,
yes,
who is learning singing and yeah.
So now, rook A2. Anish says, thank you, Guki, for the free pawn. Shown it, king H1. Gukesh said, you know what, Anish? Now that I've moved my king, I am threatening to play E5, take this pawn and win your queen. So Anish said, okay, Guki, I go rook A, D8, defending my queen and attacking your bishop. What is the move?
Observe something before you ask a question.
Oh my goodness, look at Gukesh's time. He had 2 hours, 4 minutes. And Anish 1 hour, 24 minutes. So Gukesh putting the pressure on the clock there for Anish. And what's the move here? Yes, Rakshit Singh is crazy, yeah?
Yeah, he just, I don't know when did he enter the stream. He was not there. And suddenly he's like, getting the answer for first one.
Now I'm shifting my domain from coding to chess for a few days and finds the right move list, just like many of you. Rook D2, Amruta, has been played. Again, the same threat, E5, take the pawn, win the queen. So Anish says, okay, fine, I'll stay within. Anish goes in and like, I'm attacking here. Oh, this bishop can attack the queen, but if the rook moves, I'll take your bishop. So, it's not easy. But if you look carefully now, Amruta, I could go E5, E5. And the idea is to take here and win the rook and win
Another
the queen.
disco. I mean, these are amazing discos. Yeah, 2 discos.
Yes.
With double bishop.
Yes. And so the question to everyone in the chat is, what is the only move for black to be in the game here? Because other all moves will lead to an inferior position. It's a tough one. It's a tough, very tough one. Guys, try your best. Don't give up. This time, it feels like not many are going to get this one, Amruta, because the answer is very tricky. The right move has been found by only 4 people. Danish Chandrakar, Sendil Nathan, Shirish, ABCD and Sumit. Now the natural question to ask here is, why not knight fd5? Because here, what is happening is that even if you sack your bishop, king takes and play rook takes d5, the problem is after knight takes d5, you win the queen, but I take here, and now I'm attacking here, and the only thing you can do is give a check, king here, and I have very good play for, g2 is hanging, bishop is looking here, rook is hanging, rook is coming in perfect. So white is in big trouble. So that's the reason why here knight d5 seems like the right move. But white has a crazy move. Guys, what is white's crazy move in this position? Let's go. You need to find, this position is filled with so many traps and tricks that you need to be on top of your game. JJ Recipes, thank you for your super chat.
Oh, this is so
ऋतिक
cool.
साहू से, सागर भाई आप मुंबई में हो, क्या माहौल ही है वहां? अरे भाई दोस्तों, क्या ही बताए, इतने लोग आ गए मरीन ड्राइव पे. देयर इज अ फुल
गया था पर
अरे आई सॉ ऑन टीवी, अमृता. द थिंग इज आई डिडंट गो
तेरे पास टीवी है तू किधर था?
I went to my brother's place today because it was my nephew's birthday, and there we saw on the TV like close to, I don't know how many people, thousands of people there. And I was telling Amruta, imagine if Gukesh wins the world championship and comes to Mumbai, will we have 1/10 of that people over there?
Yeah.
And we agreed that yes, we will have it. So let's hope, guys, that Gukesh wins and then we can do that afterwards. But okay, he might do it in Chennai. Why will he do it in Mumbai? Maybe we'll call him. Who
Yeah, in
knows?
Chennai only it should be there actually.
Yeah.
For sure. On that, they also have a beach. क्या है beach का नाम उनके?
Marina Beach. By the way, Rakshit says 100th.
1 out of 100. नहीं इतना कम
हो सकता है. We don't.
In Dublin Square we sold.
By the way, Amruta, let's not argue on this fact.
ठीक है, right
We
now we
have
are
20 people who have answered this. And we have Sumit, Samhita, Sendil Nathan, Shaibi, Aditya, Somnath, Rashmi, Sahil, Ayush, no name. Beautiful,
Did
guys.
you observe that so many people are with S are able to find the answers?
Yes, S is just a very, very superior letter to start your name with. Yes, Amruta. S,
और
S.
कुछ?
The queen is trapped.
Yes, Sagar, I agree with you. It's beautiful, no?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Amazing.
It's
Great question. Sagar, मजा आ रहा है. You know, the whole skill is of asking the question. बाकी लोगों पे छोड़ दो.
Yes, no, also answering, everyone's answering beautifully. So queen e3, e5, the right answer was knight g4. Very, very stunning move.
I love this. You know the calculation.
Because
Bishop takes h7.
firstly, you want to look here, but if you take queen g4, of course, rook d3 just wins for black. So you play bishop at 7, king at 7,
Rook d8.
rook d8, which is now a blunder
Knight.
because of
उतना तो उनको पता है.
simple move check.
But no, even when you continue, rook f2.
Rook
Queen
F2.
F2. Important point is you can't take on F8.
Because
Let's
let's have 100 people now. Let's see if
Century?
100 people can answer this. Guys, black to play. What is the move? Black to move. We have. Tuck, 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 tuck.
इसमें 100 आंसर्स मिलेंगे ऐसा लग रहा है क्या तुमको?
हो सकता है अमृता. We should not really be focusing on how many people.
Sagar bhai, which is your favorite tournament you have covered? For me, it's the Batumi Olympiad. Those long videos were very crazy, says Ashray Agarwal.
Yes.
Your favorite tournament would be very difficult to choose, but
For
which
now,
one,
I think I will. Nothing can beat the candidates, guys. Where I was recently in Toronto, because it was just amazing to see Gukesh win it. 90 people, of course, Grand Swiss.
91.
Grand Swiss also where Vidit won, and World Cup, although I didn't go for the full duration. Shahid was there. I enjoyed that immensely. Shaibi, Bad Karma, Sendil, Arnub, Samhita, Rakshit, Gupta, Football, Aryaveer and Debarshi, guys. That's just checkmate. Although I would have loved if Bishop G2 also would have been written by a few. 9 of them did write it, so we did cross 100, Amruta, because that's also a checkmate. Now, going back, so after Rook D2, Queen E3, E5 was being met with Knight G4. And so Gukesh went Rook F3. But this move was the first move that Gukesh was out of his preparation. And he thought here for a massive 30 minutes to play Rook F3. And he says to Anish that your queen has to go back. Anish says, okay, I will go back. How does it matter? Now pushing E5 is tougher, Amruta, because the bishop is attacking the rook. And
do you want to go bishop b2, just develop?
Exactly. He played it. He played bishop b2. And now the knight came to g6. Guys, this is getting very exciting because the knight comes to g6. To get such a position against Anish is unbelievable work by Gukesh in opening, I would say. And hats off to Team Gukesh, to Gaevsky, to their seconds, because Anish is such a well-prepared opponent and you are being able to get a position which is rich, or filled with possibilities, not a drawish, dull, equal game.
Yeah, this brings a lot of excitement. We're enjoying this. We are enjoying. Maybe this is the most exciting moment you can say for Romania.
Well, there were some exciting games for sure, but now that with 2 rounds left and Gukesh really pressing on the accelerator here, this is actually Gukesh saying to the world that, hey, I am now the World Championship challenger and I am expected to win such tournaments, just like how, Magnus might think and so on. And Gukesh is saying this is a key round for me to perform. And so here, now with knight to g6, yes, it's possible to take this knight, but after gf6, it's not like the king is too weak. So he did not go for it. He went for something else here. And I think Gukesh's next move is kind of very cute, Amruta. I would like to use the word cute. I hope you are okay.
What else is cute so that people can then find, with that hint. Okay. How are they going to find the move? I still don't get it. But Nightbot says hundreds of amazing players leave the sport every year due to lack of funds. You can help change that by donating to the HelpChess initiative run by ChessBase India and Nightbot. We also have an amazing article. If you can update that today in the link, the pinned link in the description. It has that article, guys. Literally can't count the number of hours because it's been going on for months and months with collecting a lot of data. But it is a beautiful piece of work. You can check there some amazing talents. So much to feel connected with the Indian chess.
Yeah, no, and all of this is being made possible because of the people here.
Because of the big team.
Yes, no, but the community, Amruta, they are contributing, and that's a huge
Yeah,
thing.
no, of course.
So
Oh
I
wow,
will,
you're putting it on the.
I can actually show it at some point.
Yes.
But for now, h3 has been played on the board, and guys, this move is just a epic move. Why? I will try to explain it, because firstly, it's telling Anish that what is the move you want to play now. It's throwing the ball back in his court.
It's a
And
waiting game.
it's a waiting game. It's like saying, do you want to move your knight here, attacking the rook? It's possible. Do you want to move your queen back, which is also possible? Do you want to move your
Rook D7.
rook c8? Maybe it's also possible. Do you
Possible सब कुछ.
rook d7 might be a little tricky, Amruta, but also possible. And this is why h3
So why
is
H3? Because
H3.
you were saying that Anish with 32 minutes
Yes.
on his clock.
Yes.
Because there
It's
are
a
so many
mastermind move.
possible moves
It's a
here.
mastermind move, Amruta. Think
He
about
has
it.
trapped Anish in like in a possibility trap, Sagar.
What do you say? What was the
Choice
word?
overload.
Yes.
But here more than choice overload, I think possibility trap fits
It's
in
choice
better.
overload for Anish. He can go knight h4, he can go rook d7, he can go rook c8, he can do many things. And this is what makes Anish's task a little difficult here, because his time is ticking down and he is 40 minutes behind Gukesh. So that really makes a big difference here.
Generally, Anish has been a very good defender, but obviously it's never easy to play against these youngsters anymore. Do they
No,
even
but
say
Amruta,
that these
I
are the
feel-
youngsters now? Or
No, but
because
they-
now with their experience, they have become a little old in terms of experience.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, of course, with their experience, they are world's best. But at the same time, Amruta, a move like h3 is just so difficult to make. I mean, I would imagine that there are possibilities of direct move. Okay, e5, bishop f3 is just lost.
Correct.
So you won't think of it, but you could think of moving your rook back.
Wait a second. What's the problem here? Maybe rook d3, knight e4? Can you do that?
Well, I think the main problem is e5. Closing down this position, these pawns.
Oh, wow, someone did mention it for black earlier. Why not e5 for AG Bulendra?
So, Bholendra, now the question is after h3,
E5.
why
he says.
not e5 again here, which is a very interesting question. And now we maybe see even more depth of Gukesh's calculation, because after fe, this time, of course, you want to take with the knight, and now white to play. What is the move that Gukesh had planned here, guys? Try to think, what is the move that Gukesh had thought of?
There are actually two exciting moves, to be very honest. Himang says Fabi seems to have a risk-free edge against Pragg. Okay. Ashra Sagar bhai, can you tell the amount that the winner and loser of the World Championship will get?
Winner will get 11 crores, and I think loser will get 7.5 or 7.8 crores.
Sachin says, what's the good explanation for Gukesh's f4 move? Was he already thinking about rook lift, rook f3?
I think, Sachin, more than the rook lift, the idea of f4 was to stop e5. So when you put your pawn to f4, he can no longer play e5, so the bishop doesn't come out. Okay, Amruta, going back to that question we had, that instead of h3, here if you played, by the way, h3, e5, take.
Rook f5 and rook f6 were tempting, but what did the people say?
People have gone all in right now. Great job.
Wow.
Suyog, Abhishek, Shaibi, Somnath, JJ, Anand, Hacker, Harshit, Reshmi, Amit Abad. Boom. Rook takes f6. And the question to ask here is, after g takes f6, what is the reason why white is better here in this position, Amruta? And if this was not played and rook f1 is played here instead of h3.
No, don't go back.
Yeah, I'll come back again. I'll go there. And take. This position is better for black. Just with the inclusion of h3, how does things change so much?
Guki smart nikla par.
He is very deep, guys, very deep. So here is the point. H3, E5. Take. Rook F6, G6. Knight H5 is the move, correct? The main defense is Rook D6 here. And now comes the very, very stunning move, Amruta. The move that could be very, very difficult for everyone to understand. White to play. What do you do, guys? Aditya Singh says, who will be the 5th member of the Indian Olympiad team? I am actually surprised that they have not really announced the Indian Olympiad team yet, which is I think something that AICF should announce very soon. And the move that we expect here, Amruta, from our chat, they are just unbelievably strong, it feels. Shaibi, Harshit, JJ, Trivya Chad, Gayatri, Prerak, Aditya, Indi, Sahil, and Somnath. Bishop takes knight.
Yeah, but I was continuing the calculation. F takes C5.
Why not queen takes, by the way?
No, for queen G4, I want to bring the... Okay, rook to G6. But you want to go queen G5, yeah?
It's lost, right? Because after queen E5, queen G4, it's a mate in 1.
Queen
but
G5.
Queen G5 and the stunner is?
Knight F6.
Knight takes F6, check.
Rook F6.
Rook takes F6 and Amruta. There's no back rank anyway. There's no back rank.
But
It's
anyway,
a check.
But
check.
the point is, what if Fe5?
Let's
Queen
go back.
G4.
Fe5 now.
I
Here.
think this everyone must be calculating.
And now
Queen G4.
And now Amruta, Queen G4 is met with Rook G6.
Knight F6 and King G7. Exactly. You don't get anything.
Correct.
Knight D7 is not possible. Rook G4.
So here is a stunner again. White to play, guys. What did Gukesh have in mind?
Gukesh ने जिंदगी काफी टफ बना दिया आज.
Gukesh has just been phenomenal, yeah, here. No, this is very tough. This is very tough.
Oh my goodness.
Very tough.
Are you serious?
Very tough, yeah. No, come on, our chat is so good, Amruta. They are like, they should be there. They should be playing tournaments. Guys, if you really are finding these moves, you should be playing a lot more. The right move is the stunning Bishop A6 by Isa Sehar, Shaibi, Suyog, Sanskar, Trivya Shad, Shrijib, Harshit, Henil, Buddhima and Ashray. And Amruta...
I actually thought Bishop C4 and I think a few people also thought of Bishop C4.
But now you attack here.
Yes.
And if you take here...
No, take to Queen G4.
Mate. Because no rook comes in, right?
समझा क्या तूने जो लोगों ने ये बताया है वो
Yes.
क्यों बताएंगे?
And Amruta, after Bishop takes, Rook D6 is winning for White now. With check coming in, White is better. But. No, I'm still figuring it out. Look, here's the variation, Amruta. It continues. Bishop E2.
Wait. If Queen E2, you have Queen D6.
Yes.
And then if
I
Queen
have to
G4
take.
check, you have...
Because if I don't take, I lose my knight for free. So I must take.
Then you take on D6.
And black wins.
Yeah.
So, here the move is Knight F6 check. Crazy move. King can come up, king can go here.
But anyway, if King G7, then there is Queen D2.
Yes, Amruta, very sharp, very quick. Queen D2,
out of threats.
mate.
Yeah. So King H8 is forced. And anyway, Queen D2. Because you can't stop Queen H6 and mate.
Threatening here and game over. So if now Queen F2, there are
But
many.
there is no threat. Queen H6.
No, Queen H6, there is Queen F1 and
King
Queen
H2.
F4. They trade the queens.
Acha, wait. You still have to be alert, guys. What
Yeah.
do you do here? King H2 ko bhi Queen F4 hai. Rook D8.
Amruta, the crazy move here is knight takes on h7.
Whoa, if
Because
king h7, you have queen
king
h6
h7 is
check,
mate. Check. King
queen
g8.
g5 and rook h6.
Check.
Rook h6.
Oh, by the way, there was a
Win.
faster way to mate. Rook h6 and queen g5.
Okay.
That's a mate. Okay. So here, knight h7, you are suddenly in big trouble because you lost a pawn. Your rook is hanging. You can't even give a check and trade queens because at the end the rook is hanging. So here you go rook g8, but then after knight g5, white is better and in a much...
Hey, this is a bit crazy. Yeah? Knight h7 move is really
very
tough
crazy.
to see.
Very
At least, even if you are at the position, it's tough to
But
see.
Amruta,
So
now,
it's...
now we have to go back and understand why did Gukesh play h3 here? Because let's imagine rook f1, e5,
No,
same
he
line, take, knight
वो queen
h5,
f1 कितने
rook
सारे
d6, bishop e5, fe, bishop a6, and now this crazy move.
Wow. Nice. नहीं, sorry, blunder हुई मेरी. I thought of... But there's a pawn.
The move here, Amruta, is the shocking one, rook f d8, which earlier was not possible because, let's say, with the pawn on h, I can take here and rook takes d2, queen g4, king f8 comes out. Okay, and so once again I go back with the h3 position, take, and bishop a6, rook f d8. There is queen g4 check, king f8, queen g7, king e8. I don't know if Gukesh saw all of this because that would be insane if he saw all of this. Queen g5 check, king e8, knight f6 check.
Only one person could have found it, Sagar. Samajh Dadi.
No, and now Amruta, here, and in this line, finally, there is no backrack bait. हाँ, मिल गया हिस्ट्री का यूज.
देखो मारना पड़ेगा सागर इतना ज्यादा नहीं. It's like it's a 5-year-old boy and he's like at the age of 85. What is going to happen? I'm going to play that. I'm going to
No,
play
but
cricket
true.
and...
It's in lines like this, the move is useful. The engines are confirming. I can't believe that Gukesh saw all of this. If he did, he is a genius, which we know he is.
This, I think, humanly not possible. But yes, as you said, if you've seen it, extremely incredible. Arey Nightbot, I have not drank water. Abhi to zaruri hai. Everybody needs to drink water.
By the way, guys, do like the stream and also subscribe to our channel. Our next aim for today for subscriber count is to hit 17,11,500. We are 72 people away from reaching there.
Nice.
Meanwhile, instead of all these Amruta calculations after h3, Anish said, I am playing rook f e8 calmly, putting away all the calculations that were there.
Sachin said, beauty of chess, tough not to crack when asked, but feels simple when explained.
Yeah, true. But now I think Anish did the same what Gukesh did with him.
Wait.
Which was that after h3, Anish played rook f8 and said to Gukesh, now you think. Of course, Gukesh is facing a world-class grandmaster who's not going to collapse just like that. He will give the best possible fight. And this is where now Gukesh has to figure out what is the move. And here I'm very interested to see what is a Guki move.
I don't know. I was constantly feeling earlier to go queen e2, just getting out. But now maybe it doesn't make sense. After you showed so much of analysis, the queen did not really matter whether on d1 or e2. But rook on f3
it's not at all easy, Amruta, to even make a move. Like let's say if I play queen e2 here.
Now,
E5 is a constant worry.
hey, you know, F5 means you give the square F4, correct? If you play F5,
Here? Yeah, that's
Yes,
terrible. Yeah, just knight sits here.
no, you are an IM, right? But many of the people wouldn't know because it looks very tempting to go
Yeah,
out
it
there.
looks very tempting, but it's just like then all your bishops get closed
Yes.
and there's no way to
So
attack.
it is a strategical blunder. You can see over here anyway, strategic blunder. So this doesn't work. So Queen E2 is a slow move. What we understand is let the chat guess.
By the way,
Rook
Amit
C2.
Abad rightly points out that h3 could be home prep by Gukesh, or at least he has seen that in some of the lines, and it's very much plausible
Totally.
because Gukesh did blitz out his moves until move 18, and we are still on move 21.
Correct.
So h3 could be something that
Yeah.
was vaguely in his
No,
head.
because also you won't make a move like H3 without knowing because there are other moves feel more natural.
But
like
then
rook
we know
C2
Gukesh,
and-
Amruta, here I won't be surprised if Gukesh makes the move A4. He would just be like, we can ask him, oh, why did you play this move and so on. But he would be like, yeah, I just felt like some point bishop A3 and, he could think. But coming back now, the main point here is that black wants to play E5. And that is the key idea of the
Correct.
position.
So even white actually wants to play E5, but this rook on F3 is not letting him do that.
And with rook f e8, Amruta, in many of the lines, if you remember, the king had to go after a check to h8, but now can go to f8.
But also do not forget that when that knight comes to H5 after a sack, knight F6 and there will be a fork. Arey, I don't.
Sorry.
By the way, Sanjog is saying कि chat summary क्या बोल रही है देख YouTube की. Viewers are discussing the ongoing chess game between Sagar Shah and an opponent and what the possible next moves for the players should be.
Guys, AI को जरा शांत करा दो भाई.
हाँ ना, AI का weakness पता चला है. And Nightbot is saying, enjoy the exciting live commentary on Superbet Classic Round 8 featuring Gukesh versus Anish and Pragg versus Caruana with Sagar and Amruta. Don't miss the action. This is an AI generated message. So Nightbot is basically fighting against YouTube chat summary. That is cool.
Nice. But now, Amruta, Gukesh has to fight against Anish's e5 pawn push. And while we are thinking, why don't you go and get your thing which you have ordered?
I didn't.
What you did?
You wanted, no?
No, I don't want to eat. You worry. Guys, Amruta is celebrating today. I don't know what. Oh, she's celebrating that we've published the Help Chess article because of something that she really wanted since many days to be published. And guys, this is what was written today. Help Chess is our ChessBase India Foundation. It is something through which we are helping Indian chess through your support. And this is the annual report which we published. 54 lakh rupees were raised. Here's the first scholarship. Arjun Erigaisi Deathmatch Fund went to Sumer Sheikh, this young boy, and he's been training with Debashish Das. We have Ashwin Subramaniam, who has instituted the Pursue Your Chess Scholarship that has gone to Kushagra Mohan and Sriraj. Then we had Aditya Mittal, who has been supported. There is Aryan Joshi, who is visually impaired, was supported. S. Krishnan Scholarship to Arshia Das, talented young girl from Tripura. We have Mayank Chakrabarti, the young boy from Assam, being trained by Swayams Mishra, supported by Mrutyunjay Jalan here. Also, Shrenik and Purva, they really helped and raised funds with their friends here and contributed to Help Chess. We have the Bijay Rajni Scholarship for Mariam Fatima, who's gunning to be the first WGM of Bihar. This scholarship was instituted by Neeraj Kumar, who is a very ardent fan of chess and also has supported with 1 lakh rupees. There is the support for Jubin Jimmy, an IM from Kerala, just 16 years old and very talented. Anirudh Potawad, who's here, who's a very talented boy and has been supported by the foundation. Sneha Vaikar, the chess boxer, got 50,000 rupees. Narayani Marathe received 50,000 before, and then 1 lakh rupees from Amit Mantri, who's here. And Narayani won the gold medal for in Asian, in classical and rapid. There's this one person whom we met who is a plumber, Abdul Rahman, who was sponsored 7,500 rupees for his entry fee in a tournament. We had Sarada scholarship of 10 lakh rupees for 3 talented young girls. Sarayu Velpula, who's now up to India number 6. Sahiti Varshini, who is an FM, and Ritika Malik, who's gunning to be a WIM and then eventually a WGM. We gave 14 laptops with the ChessBase India YouTube memberships. All the members who are here, a big shout out to you, to all these 14 youngsters. A separate article on that has been written. Tanay Johar scholarship. There was an scholarship instituted in the name of Tanay, who sadly passed away, and his brother instituted this scholarship, and it was given to Shreya Hiparagi, 50,000 rupees, the current under 13 champion. Ethan Vaz, the talented young boy from Goa, who has been supported here, is now an IM, is born in 2011, very talented boy. Arjun Adi Reddy, also supported by the foundation at the age of 13, he became the national junior champion. We have Pranav V, who was also supported. And then these are all the believers here. If you've contributed to Help Chess, your name is here. We had more than 900 people who contributed, and here a very major chunk of contribution came during the FIDE World Cup 2023, where Praggnanandhaa played and reached until the finals. We also had Arjun Erigaisi, Vidit Gujarati, and also like all of them doing brilliantly, Gukesh, and that is why so many funds were raised, and all the names with all the amounts have been transparently mentioned here, so you can check it out, and I'm sure your name would also be there. The total amount is 54,70,052, and we also want to thank some big believers who contributed above 50,000. Shikhar and Charmi, these amazing individuals, they had chess in their wedding and they raised 2,33,000 rupees and contributed to Help Chess. Surya Shekhar Ganguly has contributed 5 lakh rupees for the Dabaru film, which they gave him this amount, and he donated it all for the young talents of West Bengal. We have Prashant Singh from Cornbox, who's contributed 2 lakh rupees for this Help Chess. Samay Raina contributed 50,000, but more than that, Samay's contribution is immeasurable to Indian chess. We also had Venkat Rangan, who contributed 50,000, and big shout out to Pragg and Magnus for the FIDE World Cup, where we raised more than 10 lakh rupees. And when you contribute to the Help Chess Foundation, you get a donation receipt like this instantly in your email, and also a certificate of appreciation. Big shout out to Supriya, Adarsh and Trina, who have really worked hard. If there is a young talent here, can click here and apply for the funds, fill the form and apply it here, and you can support the initiative here by contributing scholarships, sponsorships, and for these youngsters. Check it out. This article is pinned in the message. Thank you all, guys. Let's get back to the game.
Ooh, that was breathless and amazing, Sagar. It was so cool to get the whole perspective of what happened in Help Chess.
Yes, thank you all for all your contribution. Without you all, this would never have been possible. We've managed to make this small widget up here so that all of you can contribute. But even without that, you can contribute it. And thank you so much.
Sushant says, jobless me, still waiting to earn enough to support such efforts. Yes, you're gonna get the job soon, Sushant.
Yes.
Samudra Escape says, kudos to CBI team and support extended by Help Chess. Special thank you from Narayani Marathe, who is watching this live stream along with us right now.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Narayani, that's so cool.
Narayani and Samudra. By the way, Samudrascape is Manoj Samudra, who's been supporting Narayani. And the young girl has done brilliantly. And we hope that she continues her rise to the top. All the best, Narayani. So, Rook F E8, Amruta.
The sub-count is stuck.
We have 17 lakh 11,454 subscribers. Nice.
Yes. JJ Recipe says, my coach is Mr. I am M. Tisir. Ooh, so you are strong. You're getting answers, many answers. Now it does make sense.
I did meet him recently when I went to Morocco. So, yeah.
Sachin says, great work. Abhi sirf elo points donation drive bacha hai. Lol, I will be in the first in line for that.
You mean to donate or to collect?
Actually, it was true. You know, many times when they would do bad, like in the tournaments, they would say, मैं तो social work करके आया. So it's like, it was funny. Okay. So Sagar, coming back to the position after Rook f e8, it's also not so easy for Gukesh to think of a move. Has he played? Oh, maybe he has played.
No, he's not played yet.
Yes.
Oh, he played Rook c2.
Yeah, and what are the chances of anywhere repeating? You know, I'm always scared of that because they repeat. and the whole thing is
Gukesh
gone.
never makes a move where repetition is possible. That's Gukesh's ability. For example, it could be that Queen d6.
That looks like a bad pin.
Yeah, this looks like very dangerous. But then here comes a strong move for white. Can you tell us what would you play here as white? Guys, let's go.
वापस सोचना है?
Yes, think again. And meanwhile, while you are thinking, we had a contributor on Help Chess, Amruta. Adi has contributed 100 rupees. Thank you so much, Adi.
Oh, nice. And we now have 1430 believers.
Guys, e5 does not work because of bishop takes f3.
ए नहीं, अभी कैसे?
Attacking the queen.
Oh.
And then d3 is hanging. So can't still play e5. And we have an amazing answer here, Amruta, given by just 2 people.
Queen f1.
Yes, Queen f1. What a move here, suggested by कहाँ पे है? अरे Aman Singh, Rohit Ranjan. Guys, the move here is such a special move, Queen f1, because now I come out of this pin, Amruta, and I also needed to protect this pawn. You can't repeat. I'm threatening e5. And if you play e5, now I take, knight takes, and I have the knight coming into f5, attacking the queen and the pawn here, and this becomes very
Hey,
dangerous.
one second. If the queen, where do I go? Because d3 is going to be hanging. I have to go to f8. Queen f8.
Yeah, you can go back here, but now, Amruta, I have this very amazing move. There are many amazing moves. I was first thinking, should I take here?
Knight h6, check, king h8.
Check.
Rook f6, rook d3.
Okay, if you take here, I take this, right? King h8.
Rook f6, rook d3.
But first
knight
I
d3.
take here. So you take here, back.
Now rook f6, no?
And now take. Now, if you take, there is a...
Queen f6 mate.
It's not a mate, but
Queen
Queen
G7,
G7,
knight
Knight F7. And then I take on D8 or E5.
Yeah.
So you go now Rook D3. But then I have at the very least Rook F7 with a mate coming here.
Nice. Aman Singh
Oh.
says, बड़ा मजा आया ये वाला find करके. Just intuition पे बोल दिया था Queen f1 without calculating really.
Yeah, that's a good one, Aman.
Ritesh Gaming says, hi, do you know Shaurya Mokal? He plays so good. Ritesh, he's my cousin. It's very interesting that, you know, he was very young and he was learning chess for a long time, and only after some 4 or 5 years he started showing real, like, very good improvement. A lot of consistency, I would say. It's interesting to see his journey.
By the way, Amruta,
Yeah.
Queen E7 played by Anish. Anish is picking up speed. He's saying to Gukesh, I'm not going to think so much now because I know what you are trying to do
Yeah.
here. You are trying to push me under time pressure. So Queen E7 is on the board.
This is Anish's experience saying, right? He knows what Gukesh is trying to do.
And now Oh, there's a very interesting suggestion by Abhishek Shri Kumar, who says, can we go Queen A1? वाह अभिषेक जी, क्या ही मूव बताया यार, मजेदार. Looking.
मतलब slight slip and the queen would be out of the board. This...
So maybe Queen A1 is one move. There's also Queen E1. Amruta just moving the queen here. There's also Queen F1 moving
Queen
the
F1
queen
is
here.
nice. You know, earlier, I mean, not in such a position, but queen on F1 and queen on F8, generally, which player, which world champion would was very good at that?
Queen F1
Keeping
and
his
Queen F8.
Yeah, many times he would. Many of the games you will find is queen on F1 and
Really?
queen on F8.
Alekhine? Petrosian?
Russian. Oh, Amit. Well done.
Who?
Karpov. What happened?
I didn't know, Amruta. How? Where?
I know it. Where? Okay.
Very doubtful
No,
question.
Sagar. Look,
Very doubtful.
I have had camps from Russian coaches, right? And my sir also,
Very
international
doubtful.
master, Arun
Guys,
Vaidya,
this
a lot
is-
of amazing chess books.
Don't please.
But that is true.
Don't include
Okay,
your
but-
sirs here.
No. Obviously, it's not from me. मतलब मैंने नहीं बनाया. This was a question asked to me, like I asked to you. And then I was like, okay, it was Karpov. Yeah, see?
Guys, I'm very doubtful about Amruta's question here.
You don't trust me? Trust is the basis of any relationship, Sagar.
No, our relationship is wonderful, Amruta. I really trust you in our relationship, but not on Queen F1 business. Okay, Queen E7
I
played.
will come back to you. I am going to come back to you for sure. Absolutely find the games of
Yes.
Karpov. with
Yes, I would love it, Amruta. Please do all this work.
ठीक है, मेगा डेटाबेस दे दो.
So now, as Gukesh thinks, Amruta, how about we quickly check what is up with Praggnanandhaa? Many people have said that Pragg's game is heading towards a draw here, which is very interesting. I mean, Praggnanandhaa with black against Fabiano Caruana. If by the way, Amruta, Pragg holds Fabi to a draw and Gukesh wins, then he is able to catch up Caruana. So it will be a very interesting thing. But here you can see that Caruana played this interesting opening. Pragg had the nice space in the center. Bishop c5, knight e5, take, and this very cool move, queen c2, bishop b3, because he's already piece up, and if he moves the bishop, he will lose this one. So Pragg says, why don't I capture a pawn? He took here, bishop came back, bishop d4, takes, a6 was played. White looks slightly better for sure, but then Pragg is really good at these positions, and I think after queen takes, bishop takes, and rook fd8, I don't see this as anything, it's going to be a draw.
Quite a plain, simple draw.
So Pragg actually played an interesting opening, equalized. I mean, maybe small edge for Caruana, but Pragg has managed to equalize eventually. And let's look at another player who is at the second position right now, which is Alireza Firouzja. And right now, Alireza with white does not seem to have any real chances of winning against Jan Nepomniachtchi. Amruta, Nepo has had 7 out of 7 draws in this tournament.
What?
Yeah.
It's almost as good as impossible to beat him. But again, he's not able to beat his opponent. So,
yeah,
difficult.
it's like Jan is very, very difficult to beat here for sure.
Yeah.
But that means if Firouzja draws, Caruana draws, then Gukesh and Anish becomes a very important game here. Gukesh is thinking very interesting position here. And guys, do like the stream. Let's get more people joining us. We have 1200 people. We want to hit more people today so that
You want
tomorrow
to hit more people today?
we want to hit more people on this stream today.
Okay, Ritesh asks d4 or e4, which is better from your aspect because you want to play aggressive. For aggressive, mostly e4 is better. It gives to more open positions. It also has more theory, but then there are certain times when if you're playing at a lower level, then players used to play like Cole system, Stonewall, and you go d4 and then e3, f4, knight f3. You take one setup where the knight jumps to e5, rook f1.
कौन सा कहानी सुना रही है भाई? Guys, what is this?
Okay, that's it. Baki ka tum dekh lena. Sagar, while we were talking about coach, Chess God asked, Sagar bhai, will Samay reach 2000? You are his coach. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I think Samay should be able to reach 2000 soon.
No, I don't think Samay will be able to reach 2000 any soon.
Well, the main problem is that he is...
मैं तो ऐसे ही बोलूंगी
No,
ना.
he has other priorities for sure. So the day when he makes chess his first priority, even for a month, he should be able to reach there. But that's the problem with all the people who are trying to improve. You need to prioritize time for chess in order to improve. It's not easy to do it without it. But for now, Gukesh needs to prioritize removing his queen from this diagonal. So I play diagonal. Queen e2 I was thinking, Amruta.
But then you had showed queen f1, which we are rejecting.
You know the reason why queen e2 might not be the best is because it blocks the second rank, right? So for example, if I play queen f1 and you play rook c8 trying to trade the queens, I can avoid that queen trade and sandwich my rooks here nicely. Okay, talking about sandwich, Amruta, I'm hungry now.
We don't have sandwich. We are not getting sandwich. But Vishy had done a Subway ad.
Yes.
And later Subway did launch this Bombay Tikkies Subway.
Okay.
And then maybe Vishy should think of coming to Mumbai and doing that.
Really?
Bombay Tikki.
Nice.
So that we get to meet him and many other people as well. Imagine all the chess players are playing a tournament and eating Subway Bombay Tikki. And Vishy is giving a Simon.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Not so good.
Guys,
मजा नहीं आया,
Subway's marketing manager, please. Assess Amruta's idea.
मजा नहीं आया.
What about rook e2, says Rameshyam. Rameshyam, rook e2 is interesting. I don't think it's a bad move at all. But it's not helping you, right, to come out of this, and then e5 is coming in.
We also have another question, why not queen c1 by YDVP?
I think you have to always ask this question if e5 is possible or not. Here right now e5 becomes difficult because of knight f5. I agree with that. But after queen f1, e5, it gets even more tricky because after take, what has happened is, because I'm doubled here, Amruta, this becomes even stronger. And we discussed this, right? Knight h6. So like for example, queen f8, knight h6, king h8.
No, we saw this, no? Bishop e5, same thing.
Yeah, bishop e5.
But can we go back and one moment for rook c2, could Anish have actually gone queen f8 instead of queen e7?
Also was possible, Amruta. But after take,
knight
now
h5.
is the, knight h5. And this is trouble. Because if you play queen e7, now comes the move that we've all been waiting for, white to play. What do you do? White to move, guys. Let's go. Spark. Maybe your move now. Safal Fazil. JJ Recipes. Very good, guys. You guys were so quick. YDVP. Well done. Srinath. Kabir. Srinand. Queen a1, Amruta, and you can't save this pawn You have to play e5, but then after fe, I have more attack here. Also f4,
No,
f5.
there is also fork, na? Fe, knight f6. No, fe, knight e5.
Yeah,
knight
knight
f6
e5.
check, king h8, and there is a pin. Yeah, knight e8.
And then you can't take because the knight is pinned here. By the way, Amruta, Anish is making such a big move on the clock. He's now just 16 minutes away from Gukesh.
Oh. That does make you feel a bit sad, right? Arey yaar, I was almost an hour up on the clock and now it's
Yes.
so less.
But also, like, this might be the key moment to think also, Amruta, in the game. Because it's like, once you earn a lot of money, if you don't spend it, then what are you going to do? It's not like the money is going to be useful to you just like that. Also, the time which Gukesh might
Using
save.
at the right time for right thing. So
Yes.
that's what Gukesh is doing.
If Gukesh saves all his time right now, it's not like they're going to add it to his next game.
Nice. Amazing.
Yeah.
Siddharth Pandurangi says, want to see some brilliant sacrifices like Michael Tar.
I'm also actually very much expecting some things to happen here in this game. I'm just not sure how it will pan out.
Anonymous says, time is money just got real. No, in fact, there is a very nice movie in time. I think it was so many years ago we had seen.
Definitely, guys, check
In
it
Time.
out.
It is
In
so
Time
cool.
is a beautiful movie. The concept is that there.
But
instead
many
of
people don't like
money-
spoiler alerts, Sagar.
No, but okay. Instead of money, the currency is time.
Mute kar dena.
So, if you want to, like there, people, when they run out of time, they are about to die. So the other person comes and gives time. Amruta, we should watch it tonight. Is it there on any platform, perhaps?
I don't know, but I'm sure that tonight anyway you will be dead and then you'll crash on the bed. So.
By the way, guys, we have 451 likes. Guys, do like the stream so that we can reach 500 likes.
Mido says, I remember Cillian Murphy and Justin Timberlake. People have seen it.
Yeah.
Good movie, sci-fi. In Time, yes.
Yeah, it's brilliant actually. Meanwhile, Gukesh is not in time to make his next move. By Gukesh, wake up!
Wait, 1 second. So right now, according to the chat, he should go Queen A1, correct?
Yeah, Queen
Or
A1,
Queen E2.
Queen F1.
Anything
We
weird,
are
like
playing
can we think
against-
anything weird like Rook F1? Go Rook F1.
No, the Rook F1 move
94.
is just pure,
Blunder.
pure waste of. Because
Blunder
this is
हुआ.
hanging, yeah.
So 94 is a threat, Sagar, and that's why you have to save it. So Queen E1, Queen E2 makes sense.
That's why people are saying Rook E2 also.
Hey, can I think of an exchange sacrifice, please, like Petrosian? So E5, Bishop F3, Queen F3. Where do you go? Knight D5. नहीं F5 में क्या E5 equal है ना? I was thinking of Knight H5 or even no, H4 is not possible. But no threat.
Resign. Because after take, this is hanging.
No, I must have really hurt Petrosian by looking at this sacrifice. So not really.
Yeah, possible Frosto to play Queen E2 and Rook F2, but it feels a bit slow. I would suggest
A4, then you move A4, Sagar.
A4 knight. Doesn't it hang this, or
Yeah, I forgot.
we just were talking about it, right?
Is F5 a possibility? Knight H4. Just to understand so that we know how
But what
each
if-
and every move is impacting. So Knight H4 and then it's nothing, yeah, now?
Yeah.
Indrajit says, I'm thinking Queen E2, then move the knight and Rook G3. It will help unpin the Bishop D3 and E4 pawn. Yeah, but where do you move the knight? Again, you
But
don't want to bring
you
knight.
know, to queen e2, e5 is the issue. And
But e5 is the best move, yeah. For black, does he have anything equally good?
maybe rook c8 also interesting. Maybe knight h4 also interesting.
So many options for black.
I think overall both players are right now being bombarded with options on every move, which is making them so difficult to choose. As we rightly said, as we pointed out, queen e2, queen f1, queen a1,
Yeah.
rook e2. So many options.
It's definitely like those marriages where there are like hundreds of things to eat, the buffet, and you just don't want so many things over there.
Yes.
I don't know if you
I
like
really wanted all the things to be.
No, I just guys, how do you in a marriage? What would you prefer? Like limited options or too many things?
You know, also Amruta, queen a1 people might say e5 is possible here as well. The main problem is after knight f5, queen f8, now fe, and there is two defenders here. So it's not so easy to play e5 in this line. Maybe it is.
Yeah, unlimited options is Siddharth. I think a good answer would be like if it is your own wedding to have limited options so that you save some money, and if you are going to somebody else's wedding, there are many options. That would be generally if people are good in,
Yes, Amruta.
तो ऐसे मत देखो यार ऐसा लगता है कुछ भी बोल रही हूँ कुछ तो झोल ही है Okay.
Jakub Pietrzak says Gukesh should take advantage of the time factor. But Jakub, it might not be so easy for Gukesh to come to a move. By the way, Wesley So and MVL is going to end in a draw.
Yeah, I'm sure the chat is right now very interesting, Sagar.
Interesting or interested?
No, they are very interesting. Like Anonymous says, in some weddings, you can decide which chessboard you play on. Sir, any tips for my first school tournament? Yes, don't study while you're playing chess.
Oh, meanwhile, Amruta, we have Rajagopal Ramanathan, who has contributed 501 on HelpChess. Thank you so much, Rajagopal, for your contribution. It's very kind of you.
Amazing.
To contribute 1431st believer. And we've also crossed 17,11,500 subscribers on HelpChess. Thank you so much. Sorry, on our YouTube channel. Thank you all. And the next aim is 17,11,550. We are 37 subscribers away from it. So if you aren't a subscriber, do subscribe. Also do like this stream so that more people can join in. The YouTube's algorithm does push streams where more people like them.
Nice. Anirudh says, any tips for my first OTP tournament on 20th July?
Oh, nice.
Where are you playing? Because there are many tournaments happening on 20th July. Actually.
Well, if you are in Mumbai, the biggest tip is that please do come and say hi to me in person.
क्या बात है? Chess God says, Sagar by chess is the only sport where
audience can play too, sometimes better than the player himself. Maybe, well, not necessarily. I think in any sport it's possible.
Sauradeep asks, what about bishop f6 move?
Yes, but Sauradeep, I was thinking if you take queen takes f6, what have you gained out of it? With the e5, I can just go back, no? Like, okay, there's bishop f3, but anyway, like, it doesn't make any sense to take here and give up your amazing bishop. So, Amruta, my feeling here is that Gukesh is just trying to figure out where to move his queen, and he's rightly taking some time.
But how much time? Like, it's been how long since he has been thinking? एक बार पीछे जाओ.
Since 22 minutes, he's been thinking. It's been some time now.
Coconut says, Sagar, Amruta and ChessBase team, congrats on raising 54 lakhs. Amazing job. You guys rock.
Thank you.
Coconut, one question to you. I don't know if people in the chat have also wondered, but it could be a big help. Whenever there is a coconut tree and you are standing under a coconut tree, can a coconut fall on your head?
You know, guys, when we stay in a building here, where on the exit of the building gate there is a coconut tree up there with coconuts. It's just hanging like, and every time we open the door and are about to go out, everyone's worried that it will fall on their head.
But
So-
I had heard that a coconut never falls on the head. No, it's a nature's blessing or something. I had heard.
Could be,
But I don't know.
could be, and maybe the law of gravity does not work on coconuts like apple. That's why Newton discovered gravity through apple, not coconuts.
Oh my god.
Oh, by the way, there was one very nice comment we had from Siddharth Pandurangi, who says, when is your next trip to Bengaluru? I'm so desperate to meet you. Couldn't attend Waka meeting on 24th May. He missed it so much, Amruta, that he remembers the date as well, on 24th of May.
Wow.
And Siddharth Pandurangi, guys, Siddharth, you will be a very good partner to your better half because you remember all the dates.
Is that the criteria, like a big qualification there to be a good
it's
partner?
nice to have. It's nice
Yes,
to have.
absolutely. It's never easy. Travel with Nikhil Roshan says, actually the survey says that around 2 to 150 people die every year due to falling coconuts in India. Ooh. But Srirang says, I am from Konkan region and I have also heard what Amruta has said. Oh. Bapre, I think it's a coconut controversy right now. We're not yet sure. What happened?
Gukesh play. Thank you, Gukesh, for making a move. Queen E1 by Gukesh saves the day once again from this nut. Oh, sorry, from the coconut.
But the last one. Video journal says coconut fell on a friend's Mercedes. Oh my god.
Okay, Gukesh has played Queen E1 and Amruta will. I think E5 is not Anish type of a move. I'll tell you why. Because it kind of provokes Gukesh to come to F5, then move backwards, and then have all sorts of traps like knight h6.
I don't even think Anish will play e5
Yes.
because this just even if we have engine, we know the assessment and calculation of every variation.
No, E5
But
doesn't
Anish-
feel right.
Yeah, it feels like you're helping his knight and the rook, everyone to become active.
Oh, but look at Anish. He's quickly moved his knight to h4. And guys, there's only one move. Gukesh must make it very quickly. Can you answer it before Gukesh plays? What's the only move here for white?
Only move.
Yeah, only move, Amruta. Come on.
No, only move, of course.
Yes, rook to e3 played here. Very good move. Because now the bishop had to be defended. No, like if you come back here, you'll just lose the bishop. So that's the reason why rook e3.
By the way, Jack asked something interesting which we will definitely think about. Can you institute a support program for people with autism to play chess?
Oh, what's his name?
Jack Zeru.
Jack, tomorrow, most likely, I will release a video of chess of a person whom I have interviewed who teaches chess to autistic kids. And
Oh, nice.
yes.
And today, actually, I did call one of my friend who also is a physiotherapist for autistic kids, and I connected her, both of them,
Both whom?
the Dipti and
Oh,
Rujita. Yeah.
oh, beautiful. That's amazing.
Yes, we should definitely consider.
Okay, now Amruta, it seems like Gukesh's rooks are going to change parties. So, for example, with this move, the pawn on e5, e4 is very happy because
You
now,
mean he's left the F file now?
firstly has left this diagonal, and now if let's say you want to trade the rooks by playing rook c8, Gukesh will be very happy to shift this rook to f file. With this, both his rooks will be very active and he will be ready to push the pawn. This is very important. Oh, he went rook c8. Anish has played rook c8, and I'm very sure Gukesh will go rook f2, guys. I'm ready to sign on any paper with all my belongings and all my Amruta. If you want, take the sign.
On about what? What's the thing about?
He will play rook f2 now.
Who? Guki?
Gukesh, yes.
And what if he doesn't?
If he doesn't, then I will give you all my belongings.
No, something else. 4 days off. Something which...
No, there is always off.
off hota hai.
I'm
Switch
giving you
off.
everything. Like, I'll give you all my jaidad.
Arey, jaydat chodo.
By the way, we have 2 super chats back to back. Vivaswan Damle has sent, "Hi Sagar bhai, you can share a Google form, create a group of people who are thinking of going to Singapore for World Championship. Will help to coordinate and save on the costs as well." Interesting. That's a good suggestion.
Yeah, amazing.
Vivaswan, will you come, Vivaswan? Vivaswan likes to do biking.
Oh, bike to
Yeah.
Singapore jayega?
Maybe he will come on the bike. Franklin Valentine says, "Keep up the good work. Following you guys since
Okay,
Chennai
we-
Olympiad.
we-
Thanks." Arey, thank you, Franklin Valentine. That's so kind of you.
Oh, wow.
And
Where
Amruta,
are you from?
Amruta has made me sign.
Will you start a podcast? Sagar, will you start a podcast? If Guki doesn't play Rook F2.
I will start podcast even if he plays Rook F2 or doesn't play. Podcast anyway, we are going to start.
Superb.
Rajagopal says, "My son has autism and has learned to play a bit watching ChessBase India and Agad Matar videos." That's so nice, Rajagopalam. That's a very inspiring story. Maybe if you would like to share with us a bit more about it, it will help other kids as well. You can, maybe if you would like to share it, please do write to us at chessbaseindia@gmail.com. Thank you for sharing. It's very kind of you. Shrikant Bharadwaj says, "It was so nice to see Amruta indirectly saying, 'I do not need your wealth, I just need your time. You two are great together.'" Thank you, Shrikant. Also, Amruta knows that I don't have too much wealth.
No, but in general, time is wealth. In time. Time is wealth, you know, Sagar?
Yes, Amruta.
Exactly.
Yes. But Rook F2. Chess God says, "Sagar bhai, any thoughts on coconut gambit decline variation?" Yeah, I just have to walk carefully and decline it, guys.
Bhavani says, "When is your next trip to Hyderabad? You're like my coach. I improved my chess because of you."
Bhavani,
Wow.
I'm hopeful that many more activities will start in Hyderabad. So guys, look, firstly in Mumbai there are many events happening on 20th. We also have the International Chess Day rating tournament that is happening. In Bhopal, Niklesh is doing amazing work. From our team, we have 2 members in Hyderabad, Aditya and Lokesh. And if both of them decide, I am sure some amazing stuff can happen in Hyderabad very soon. So I'm actually
Though I
very
consider
hopeful.
them very less of being in Hyderabad, they're majorly traveling.
They're traveling, but I mean, they have some time. They can set up something there, which would be very cool.
Natarajan says, "My friend survived because he had a helmet on his head." Is when the coconut.
Arey, bas karo bhai.
Vivaswan says, "I'm thinking of joining during the last week after a friend's wedding. Hopefully the championship won't end by then.
Yeah.
Riding there would be fun but too costly and time consuming."
अरे
Okay,
भाई,
Vivaswan,
रास्ता
but
थोड़ी ना है। मुंबई पानी है ना बीच में कि नहीं? India to
नहीं पता.
India to
right.
Singapore, of course, there you can't.
But anyway, Vivaswan, a question to you. If you are at a friend's wedding and यहाँ पे if the match is, very critical round is there, then would you leave the wedding to see the game? or would you attend a wedding? First, this is something you should ponder, sit down calmly, and think what is the most important thing for you. It's going to be a tough decision.
Yes, Amruta. I am first right now very interested to see if there is any way to reach Singapore. Oh, there is a road. Bye. There is a road. It takes 102
Oh,
hours.
look, 110 hours
110
only.
hours. You know what you
Yeah,
need
but
to
that
do.
is only, then it will
Oh,
take
there is a road.
every day 8 hours if you are
Guys,
actually riding your
you
bike.
have to, you know, Amruta, from where
Can you
you
show
have to
this
go.
image?
No, I don't. I will just tell from where to go. You should go from Mumbai,
Patna, Bihar,
Pune, Nagpur, Bihar. Yes. Go from
Meghalaya, in fact,
Meghalaya.
Myanmar,
Then
Nagaland, Assam, Nagaland, and then Myanmar.
Manipur. Go to Myanmar. Then that's the next adjoining country. From there, Myanmar you take
Myanmar काफी लंबा है उधर.
Thailand, pass through Thailand, and from Thailand you reach
Malaysia,
and then eventually Singapore. Okay, awesome. Guys, if you start walking, it takes 53 days only. So if we start by now, it's a great one. Amruta, 53 days, and that person can
but
take...
not 53, 5,574 kilometers.
Yeah, on an average, a person can walk like 4 kilometers per hour, right? 4 kilometers per hour in a day. You can walk maybe 10 hours, max 12 hours. So 50 kilometers per day. So I would say around 100 days. Yeah, 110 days or so, Amruta. So 3.5 months.
कब से पहुंचना पड़ेगा, कब से निकलना पड़ेगा सागर?
Arey Amruta, why is Gukesh not playing Rook F2? I'm so surprised. What is his move? What is he afraid of?
Vivaswan says, I have already checked the riding route. And yes, I will be following even during the wedding on 5th and 6th. If that wasn't there, then I would have come for all days of the championship. Arey, kya baat hai. Amazing.
Badhiya, Vivaswan, badhiya.
If we go walking, do we need visa? Asks time lapse.
Of course. You actually walking would be very difficult from the perspective of getting entries at the LOC, line of control. I don't think it will be easy. Religious root says, Amruta, Gukesh does not play Rook F2. Will you come to Nepal to promote chess? Oh, nice. We always dreamt of coming to Nepal. But I really want Gukesh to play Rook F2. But if he doesn't, yes. Then maybe Nepal. Amruta, let's go to Nepal.
Nepal with Anish. Then you will have to actually, manify Anish to come to Nepal. Sahil says, okay, then I will go there with cycle. So I will reach there in 25 days. That is possible. Yeah. Imagine a person actually doing this with a full documentary. And then he...
But Amruta, this is a very interesting idea to walk to the World Championship from now. It's 3.5 months away. We start now. We will reach exactly close to the 1 month before it. So we can take 1 month to prepare, get all the visas and all, and then start walking.
हाँ सागर इतना easy तो है नहीं ये सब.
Why?
But I don't know if people do it. I mean, in India you do it. But the borders and all, exactly, we don't know how safe it is and all of that. Oof. But it was interesting. A lot of interesting information, guys.
Amruta, today all 5 games going on, which is insane.
No, they do go on, but most of the times they end in a draw.
But this will end in a draw. This will end in a draw. Or maybe Nepo might push a bit. Anish Gukesh is the most exciting game. Pragg versus Caruana perhaps is the most likely to end in a draw first. Deac versus Nodirbek. I'm sure Nodirbek wants to win this. And so is putting pressure still with white.
Dibya Jiban says crossing Myanmar isn't possible nowadays. Civil war is going on there. And north is close to any tourist. Aman says people doing world tours by cycle, like Cycle Baba from India. Oh, I don't know him.
I think there was one guy who was promoting chess on cycle.
Yes, we did have his interview, by the way, on Marathi, ChessBase India Marathi.
Yes, guys, he's
Or,
promoting chess on cycle. Yeah, Gukesh is insanely, he's gone down below Anish on the clock.
Now that just puts
Unbelievable.
some psychological pressure, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know why Gukesh is thinking so much. What are you thinking, Gukesh? Because if take
You know, when I searched for cycle videos, I got Nikhilesh's ka video which said, cycle se chale tournament khelne. Nice, in Spain.
But I'll be back in a second.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of things, and in fact, chat summary now says viewers in the chat are talking about various topics related to chess and upcoming tournaments. They are discussing Gukesh's chances. अच्छा चला ही गया वो. But it was something very funny. Let me try to see if it is showing again. Gukesh's chances of winning the world championship, the possibility of a chess jodo yatra, the upcoming tournaments in Delhi and more. अरे ये अच्छा है, chess jodo yatra already here. Divya Jiban, we do have a video. Sagar has interviewed Emil, so you can check that out where he talks about the details, and it would be very nice. Dynamic Duo says, Sagar bhai, can you name a good opening other than Italian for wide diamond 1200 on chess.com? I want to increase it. You should definitely check out the video of Sagar and Suhani. I was mentioning it where he just shows some bits of openings. But if that is very basic for you, you can also check out Anish's course on openings, because he does give more towards plan-based things, and that's nice. Sahil says, I played with Gukesh in Nagpur National when he was 2150. That's so cool. But I bet he would have crushed you, right? Tell me that. Oh, Anilama says, I'm playing in the Rapid tournament which you guys have organized. Absolutely pumped. That does remind me of one of the very nice book, Pump Up Your Rating. It was written by Axel Smith, and he worked with Aryan Tari, I guess. Yeah. And it was, there was a point until which Aryan was stuck, I think. And then they analyzed the games and how he was able to break through. So it was very nice. So you should, I don't know if it is available here on the shop or it is out of stock, but it was a very nice book. A little advanced, of course, not for beginners, but it's nice. Okay, Rook C8, and we are waiting for Guki's Rook F to move. It has been almost 16-17 minutes. In fact, guys, have you realized something, that at Bishop B2, Guki had 1 hour 33 minutes. Then he thought for 20 minutes for H3. Next, he thought for, around 16-17 minutes for Rook C2. Then he thought for 25 minutes for the move Queen E1. And after Knight H4, this one was played very quickly. And now Rook C8. So in the last 4-5 moves, he's taken a lot of time. And somehow you kind of enter into a zone where you've gone towards, slow thinking. Like opening phase was very fast because you know it all. And now you've gone into the slow thinking mode. Also going down then Anish Giri's time. First of all, incredible of Anish in that way, to make sure that he is able to make some final moves very quickly. And this will put some extra pressure on Gukesh because, he does play rook c8. Sagar, he's not played rook f2. Oh my god. I did not really think Gukesh would play rook c8, and I had so many chances to bet on. But maybe now Sagar actually is going to start the podcast. I am very, very interested for that. He might even go to Nepal, so maza aega. Chess God says if Gukesh wins World Championships, Sagar will start Basic to Advanced Chess series on ChessBase channel. Arey, absolutely. कोई doubt नहीं रखना. So he's gone rook c8. Let's try to see rook takes c8 very quickly played by Anish. Now this one again, good thing is he's not just thinking unnecessary. And once again, Gukesh at this point has a number of ways to continue. Which means that is he going to spend a lot of time, or when he played rook c8, he knows what he's going to continue with, because the most natural reaction was going to be rook c8. Guys, what are your suggestions for Guki over here? White to play. Let me quickly also make sure that the moves are taken by the chat. Mitesh says, do you have Chess Course anniversary edition book written by Praful Dhavari? We do have Chess Course, but you can check out in our shop. Anniversary edition or not is something I would right now not remember. Motive says, do you mean maza aa gaya because Sagar will go to Nepal for good? अरे वो जाके वापस आएगा. Don Shah in Nepal. Oh, nice, Sahil. That is a very good experience then. What do you have in mind? In the meantime, what the chat is suggesting, there are so many different ideas. Normally, the chat has like one move which everyone wants to play, and then there are some other moves which very few people want to play. But in this case, white to play, you all want to go what? Bishop b1 तो आ नहीं रहा है guys. क्या मूव है तुम्हारे माइंड में? Bishop b5? ये नहीं हो सकता. Difficult. Notations. f5 is one move which has been suggested. How is the move knight f5 working? Because knight f5 is not working. Because knight f5... bishop f1 is played. Gukesh played rook c8, bishop f1. He played it very quickly and nobody had suggested the move bishop f1. But knight f5, while you guys were suggesting e takes f5, e takes f5, this was hanging. So he went bishop f1. Still, I don't think the threat is this, because after takes, though this is defended, you have given a piece. That's the reason. Smart. Very smart. Is that your idea then? Knight f5. I love the tactics which you guys are seeing. What else was there? Bishop b1. Okay, because the bishop was on d3, and then of course, very sorry for such a big blunder which I said. I did not realize that the bishop went back to f1. So, coming back to the current position, Rakshit says, insane scenes at the Wankhede Indian team awarded 125 crore. Oh. Simboy says Sagar doesn't know, but he has a lot of fans in Nepal. No, we'll definitely have to now start convincing Anish Giri and Sagar. Bapre, Nepal se seriously. Few people. So cool. Atharva says, I'm watching ChessBase India for almost 2 months now. This is the first time I am commentating. I just wanted to tell you that you're doing an amazing work. Arre, Atharva, that is so cool. You should definitely try to comment more when the questions are chess related and you should try to answer there. It will give you some clarity of thinking when you have to actually type the move. It does help. So coming back to the position, now bishop f1, the bishop has let go on the square c2. Can I firstly enter here on the 7th rank, put more pressure on g2? That was my question. But Anish says, no, Amruta, we don't even want to think of all that. Let's just be a bit safe. h6, back rank is guarded, escape square has been created. At the same time, rook c2 is always going to be in the air. Now, I remember few of you had suggested the idea of knight f5, where you thought you were attacking this guy. After e takes f5, you wanted to go queen takes h4. But in this scenario, all takes and takes, but the e4 pawn is hanging. So you are going to, and even if you play bishop takes f6, ooh, what's a good move for black? Black to play. Bishop f6 is a big blunder. What's the best move for black? I just want to see if you guys are alert. There are many moves possible, but I want the best one. Only the best. Ashim says, I am 2 from Nepal, commenting for the first time. Actually, this is interesting. I did not really think that there would be so many people from Nepal, and you guys are also excited. There is so much interest in Nepal. When we think of Nepal, the only thing which comes to the mind is the, Mount Everest. What's the move? Okay. Here we go. These many people, 28 people. Sendel, Rock, Anush, Arav, Meghanath, Shritij, Certified, Nafiz, Technotic, and Abhishek. You guys have found a move. Very, very alert. Bishop g2 check. Bishop g2 or king g2, whatever. Queen takes c3, and there you go. The disco attack incoming. So, going back to the position, h6 has been played. Knight f5 will be rejected, which means Gukesh, again, how does he start thinking? What does he play? Maybe you guys had mentioned some of the ideas there. Bishop g2, rook c1. No, not really. We didn't ask the question over here. But kya karoge? Do you want to go a move like f5? Let's say. Because if ef5, you might be happy to get this open file. At least that way I look at. Yes, the bishop is opened up, but the bishop on f1 defends here. Also, this other bishop is keeping an eye sometimes. So the queen has to decide where to go because it will need to protect the f6 knight. This is one possibility. Okay, we'll come back here. Apart from f5, yes, what else? Anything else? What about bishop f6, then knight h5, then take the black knight, says anime. So if you want to take the knight, queen takes f6. Now you want to go knight h5. So where does the queen go? First instinct says, why not queen g6? Because I blundered. Because now queen h4. Of course. Simple, plain blunder. So that means that I have to be on this diagonal. So let's say I go back queen e7. And I keep this h4 knight defended. And with the white, again, you are thinking what to do. Most annoying thing is whenever you feel like going e5 and fixing this structure, which is usually good. But in this case, this bishop is so razor sharp, especially with the knight on h4 and the rook wanting to enter the 7th rank and g2 being such a big target that you are not able to play that e5 very easily. Now you can't play e5. With f5 also the problem is takes and opening up this bishop. So what is the plan? Then you kind of focus on g7 weakness for black and you think of rook g3 where he will also have to... Oh, this is actually happening on the board or what? No. Wait a second. He played queen d2. Gukesh went queen d2. And Anish immediately went rook d8. He attacks the queen. Gukesh goes queen e1. If Anish goes rook c8, is there a possibility that, Anish goes rook c8 and Guki goes queen d2? Is it going to be a draw? Because that would be unimaginable. So fast. Arey, nahi, very interesting position. Yeah, very complex, but मजा आता था if they play, मजा आएगा if they play, but at the same time, I think black is comfortable, very comfortable in the position. What do you think? Should Guki accept a draw based on the situation? What would you have done with the white pieces if your opponent is repeating? It's a decision, guys. Try to think seriously, okay? Objectively. Divgun says yes. Shruti says no. Aditya wants a draw. Jack says no. Rook is on e3. Okay, so no, yes, draw. No, never. Never ever, says Nafiz. Srirang says draw. Such mixed opinions here. Queen e1, almost a draw because they have repeated twice. Rahul says please play on. I think it's going to be safer for Gukesh suddenly with 12 minutes, and if Anish this time doesn't go, maybe he'll still play rook c8 because third time he'll go rook d8 is going to be a draw. So for queen e1 he's thinking, but at least he knows that Guki is okay with a draw. Unless it's a psychological trick by any side. That would be insane. Rook c8. Okay, Anish says, okay, I'm in for a draw. Guki, what are you going to do? Subarna thinks that Anish is going to play. How many of you think the same? Because Guki will go queen d2, and if Anish doesn't want to go rook d8, at this point he still has a choice, yeah? He still has a chance to continue the game. But if Anish wants to continue, then what would be the moves you would think for him? This is not yet on the board. Guki is thinking. Because even Guki wants to... Generally, Guki is not much for repetition. Especially in a... but here, this kind of position, he sensed it. He didn't feel comfortable. And there you go. A draw on the board. Wow. Whew, interesting. So already we have 3 draws today. Wesley versus MVL is a draw. Anish versus Gukesh is a draw. And Pragg versus Caruana is also a draw. The only fun thing was this game was so interesting. We had so much fun analyzing so deeply. Also talking, laughing. Maza aa gaya, guys. I do think, if in an objective sense, that this position draw seemed fair for both of them. For Anish, because it all started in a way where Guki was very well prepared. There was a big pressure, the time pressure of 1 hour gap. And then Anish sailed through all of that, finally reaching a position where, somewhere you've come out of that mindset of you are under pressure, and you just feel a little bit of relief over there when you see such a draw. Whereas for Gukesh, it was like he had all the opening preparation and 1 more hour and all of that, and suddenly he's low on time. He has to think so much. There is pressure with the opponent's pieces. Guki would have loved the position to play with the black pieces. So then you kind of say that, okay, objectively the position is definitely complex, and in fact it is black who has more pressure on me. So fighting here would mean that I am overestimating my position, means my assessment is wrong. And that is the reason I think Gukesh had repeated. In a way, his assessment proves to be right, and this is one thing which I think I am quite happy with Gukesh's decision. I think because for Gukesh it's not just this, but it's also World Championship, where in such a situation, if he over tries, it may not be very useful. So he will have to make sure that his assessments and the calculations go hand in hand. Yeah, yeah, it can be many results. Even playing this game, it would have been another approach. It's just talking about different approaches, I believe. It didn't seem right or wrong. There are some moments, definitely we can say that, okay, come on, I mean, you should play this position. This was not that kind of a position. So both the guys, Pragg and Guki, have finished the game of today, and the other guys, Nodirbek, that is currently assessment wise, just the Indian wise, it looks equal, though anything can happen because 2 minutes to Deac and Nodirbek is having 24 minutes, and Alireza versus Nepo, this game is also ending in a draw. So chances are that today all the games could end in a draw unless anything can happen in Nodirbek versus Deac. So let's see what happens. Rock says, I am 10 years old and 1300 FIDE. How do I get better? Array, Rock. That is amazing that you are just 10 years old and you're working hard. I bet you will have a coach. You would be having a coach. Do see a lot of games, understanding how planning happens. I believe you will be having a coach so you can discuss things with him. You can analyze your games. Well, that should really help you. Divkun says it was fun. Thanks for lightening up my mood. Array. That is so cool to know. Another draw. Absolutely. Oh, another draw. Actually, the fourth draw. We do have Firouzja versus Nepo game ending in a draw. So only one game goes on. And guys, any prediction for, are we going to see any result or do you think this is going to end in a draw? Aditya is like, when is Sagar coming to Nepal? I want to meet him. Yes, Aditya, definitely that will, as he lost the bet, he will have to plan. But I think it wouldn't happen immediately for sure because so many important tournaments coming up every month until World Championship. Draw, yeah, this one also. 5 draws. B4. The thing for this game, I believe, is Nodirbek being a very, very resilient player. He's the one having huge time, and opponent's king is weak, and there is queen and knight on the board. If anybody can win, there is a possibility that Nodirbek could try to swindle. Rajini asks how to get a FIDE rating. Rajini, you will have to play some FIDE rating tournaments so that you get the rating. If at all you are able to perform with some scores which are mentioned against the rating average of your opponents. That's how you can get the FIDE rating. Yes, and chat goes on. I am 2 years old and 2100 FIDE rated and all that. Hello Adik, nice to see you over here. Reshma says love from Nepal. It's amazing. Guys, how do you think of Nepal? Like, is it really safe to come there or how is it generally? Like, because I do wonder about this. Once says a stat, in this tournament, so far 39 games out of which 33 draws and 6 decisive only. Whoa, I'm sure with such a statistics, it's so clear that they have to change either the time control or the kind of players. You need to have kind of 2 pools where a few players are weaker than the few others that way. Nothing to do says hello, love from Odisha. Array, very nice. Sagar does have a very nice shirt which was gifted from Orissa, like from Ranjan Mohanty, and I think it's called Sambalpuri as the chat said. Adik says, I lost last round in Asian Youth Under 12 against Siddhant. I only needed a draw to get a silver medal, but I made a tragic blunder and lost and got fourth. Ooh, Adik, do we have the game by any chance? I think should check it out, but wow, amazing to know. Thanks for dropping by and all the best for your chess journey. I'm sure you will recover. You know, one of the thing I felt very inspiring of Gukesh when he said in the candidates that round when he lost against Alireza, where he was clearly better and he had so much more time, and then eventually, at least it could have been a draw, but he lost. And then there was a rest day, and then in the very end, after he had won, and later he did mention that it actually helped him. That loss helped him. He recovered from it. He fought back, so he did not let that impact him. In fact, the impact was more on a positive note. So that's something I think from Gukesh's candidate journey, one of the truly highly impactful things. So tomorrow's pairings time lapse says is Guki versus Fabi, Giri versus Fabi, So versus Guki, Deac versus MVL, Nepo versus Nodirbek, and Pragg versus Alireza. That can get interesting actually. Pragg versus Alireza. Whereas Wesley versus Guki, Guki's black. I'm not sure how interesting it can be, but unless you're able to bring some novelty again. But Gukesh is doing that well. It is safe. It is safe. Please come and visit Nepal. You will love it. Definitely. And Nightbot says, rooting for Gukesh today. To show my support, I have liked the stream and subscribed. Have you? Whereas Timelapse says to him, Nightbot Goki already drew. But he's still showing the support so that Goki can now eat well, sleep well, exercise well. MN's channel says come to Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu, we actually keep coming. I was going to say we keep coming, but actually not. Not really. Aditya says it's hard to play chess in Nepal. No FIDE rating tournaments for months. You know, earlier there used to be a tournament every January in Delhi, and it would be so huge, like maybe 3,000 people over there. It was one of my favorite tournaments. You know, with so much happening, even for photography. David Lada, who is one of the most amazing, world famous chess photographer, he would come there because it was just amazing tournament to really get the emotions. So there would be so many people who would plan from Nepal. I remember it has been, yeah, it's sad that that tournament is not happening anymore, but I hope, Aditya, that something develops in Nepal as well. JJ says come to Bahrain. You know, the thing about Bahrain is we did have a halt, and then we had this lounge access, and it was so good. My goodness. And I think, is Bahrain the airport where while you're landing, you're very close to the water? Correct me if I'm wrong. Nightbot says, did you drink water in the last 1 hour? Actually, no. Rajeshri says, love from West Bengal for Gukesh. I should get to what. No, Nodirbek has Bishop f6 has been played. Nahi Maheshwari, I don't know the personal things, so I wouldn't be able to answer. Aditya says, I'm 14, I want FIDE rating, but not tournaments, just school tournaments. But Aditya, keep playing, and whenever you will get an opportunity to play a FIDE rating tournament that time, all the experience of a school tournament would have helped you. So do not just keep waiting for something. Whatever you already have in front of you, first of all, make full use of it, and then you will be also able to feel more confident and to also search such tournaments where you can yourself travel and go there and play. Yes, definitely. Ah, yeah. Okay, then that is the same one. Bahrain airport is near the sea area. Yes, next time, definitely. Deac has been playing so many games in time pressure, but he is able to manage, yeah. How many of you have like a very huge time pressure problem? अरे ये कौन? अरे अक्षय भाई, मेरा नहीं है बर्थडे, रोज आके हैप्पी बर्थडे कर देता है. Not my birthday. मी अरे इलॉन मस्क को भी है टाइम प्रेशर, वो तो रहेगा ही ना, मार्स पे पहुंचाना रहेगा. I used to have earlier, says Harshit. Wow, good to know. That means you've solved your problem. Vasishta says time runs under my control. Yeah, time pressure is a serious problem to many players, but also not so serious for many of the hobby and club players, because many times you guys are playing blitz and generally already it has very less time. So it's not realized until you play a long format game. Then you realize, because then imagine, even if you have 10 minutes and opponent has 10 minutes and constantly you're landing in 2 3 minutes, opponent has 8 9 minutes all the time, that will mean you have time pressure. You're keeping a lot of gap over there. But it's more like a disease, and it's definitely something not separate from chess. The mistake which can happen is, oh, your chess is good but time pressure तो हो गया, वो तो सॉल्व हो जाएगा, but it's such a part of chess. Then a few things are really help, like one of the advice which was very important, which I got, is there are many moments where you literally don't need to spend so much time on deciding, because whichever move you play, it would be very negligible different, yeah, from the for the assessment. Like both would be decent moves that way, and you will still be thinking, yeah, you know that both are good moves or both are decent moves. So still you keep taking time, so that indecisiveness, to keep calculating the perfect calculation to find a best move, sometimes that's not useful. So you should be able to use your time where one or two moments where you've used a lot of time, which is basically the critical position where you actually need time to calculate. But the rest of the time, you should be able to, make quick moves like in general, with the ratio of time which you have. Uh, Were you a science student? No, I was not, but science was my favorite subject. I read science articles. I love sci-fi movies. I just love science. But I'm not so smart, but I love science. I love it. Is that knight bad knight according to the position? So for knights, they need outposts, which means some safe squares where they can be protected. So if you see over here, the d4, a nice central square, from where, why is it nice? Because it can jump to some weak squares, yeah. But if you see, the pawn is controlling f5, here currently c5, the knight is being kicked away, and the knight cannot really jump to e6 or c6 that easily because it is controlled. So this knight is struggling to, it's fighting for its existence there. Knights generally, the further they are, the more powerful they are. So if it is on the 4th rank, it's good because it is aiming at going to some nice 5th rank. But at this point, because all the squares are controlled, if it would be here somewhere on f5, let's say, it could have been stronger. On e6, it could be even more dangerous. And that too, if it is protected by a pawn, that would mean that the knight sits there solidly. But c5, and this knight is struggling. Where does it go? Because b3, f3, maybe. Okay, one thing is that d5 will be hanging, but if you say knight f3, yeah, with the idea of takes, already black is happy with this bishop, with two isolated pawns over here. A good move is the queen jumps in, defends here, and then if the queen is exchanged, the c3 becomes weaker. So already with knight f3, queen e4, if knight c2, I believe this time also queen e4 is actually possible, even after takes, even if the knight is not attacked. The c3 is attacked and there is a pin, and you don't like the rook on a3, just doesn't feel so good. The rook's going to jump in to b8 and b1. In fact, white is actually pretty much struggling to find a good place for his knight, and I thought that if the queen and knight come together against the king, it can get difficult, but not really. Knight b3, this is attacked and this is attacked, both of them are attacked, and black will try to defend both of them together with not a very difficult move, but queen c6. Tanmay says, is it allowed to love science without being a science student? Mm, absolutely. And now with the information explosion, it's so easy to, learn things. So queen c6 has been played. He defends both the pawns, and Nodirbek down to 15 minutes, slow and steady, burning the time. Maybe Deac, who has actually managed in this tournament to play with very less time and not really lose with the huge time gaps and even the complex positions under time pressure. He has managed to stay steady. So Grishchuk was one of the player who would constantly be under heavy time pressure, but would have some amazing results. Of course, with age, the reflexes start changing and it doesn't help you much. So at some point, you have to get out of that problem if you want to really stay on the top. But yeah, Grishchuk is a clear cut, expert in playing in time pressure, and I see that Deac is having those elements too. विकास से आप सागर भाई जैसे क्लासिक गेम का कमेंट्री क्यों नहीं करते? 15 मिनट्स का वीडियो बनाया कीजिए, पूरा मैच देखना पॉसिबल नहीं हो पाता. Completely understand Vikas. I think Sagar really does an amazing job over there. He puts a lot of time analyzing the game and a lot of focus. It's a to make a 1 hour one video, it does take between 2 to 3 hours, and for some games where it is very tough end games, it could even go beyond that. So where he has to analyze deeply. So these are definitely not easy ones. I don't know how it looks from the outside, but it's not so easy to make them so consistently. So that I can't make them right now. At some point, I am hoping that I would be able to learn from Sagar. Aditya says, can you please tell the best opening for black? 800 elo. 800 हो, 2100 है, कुछ भी हो, Sicilian खेलो. Okay, but Sicilian is an opening which you should play in your life for sure to gain that understanding. It's important. Also, they say that main lines is something you have to touch and try at some point, because the understanding which you increase with that. What are the main lines? Basically the solid lines. You putting your pawn in the center, you are, there are certain, it follows some certain set of principles, and With that, the understanding you develop, it is important for the growth of your chess. That's why they recommend that. So no matter what, even just for the sake of improving the chess understanding, you should definitely try out main lines. Yes, Nightbot is rooting for Pragg today to show his support. He's liked the stream. And Pragg has finished the game. He's drawn. It's nice. Thank you, Nightbot, for being such a support to us also. Yeah, Queen F3 was played by Nodirbek with the threat of Knight C5, Queen C5, and deflection. So that's why Rook F8 was played by Deac, defending the F6 and stopping the threat of Knight C5. And this guy is thinking, in fact, what to do next. नाइशा is like कल स्कूल क्यों है? Hey Mandalorian, do not spam. Yes, Pitambar. Okay, so Rook F8, and now if Abdusattorov can go wrong with a, let's say, what are your suggestions for white? Because if you don't play the top two moves, then you are in a big trouble. So what would be your suggestion? Okay, Rook D1 is one suggestion by Naisha. Nice, you want to exert more pressure on D5. Very logical. Technotic says Queen E3. Now you want to exert pressure on C5. I like that all these moves which you've suggested, you're exerting pressure on either C5 or D5. Preetham says C4. I love that you can look at this pin, but I don't like that you can forget your own rook. Okay. So C4, good one. It's like, for you right now, the suggestion is chess is a game of 64 squares. We keep seeing this often because sometimes we're so much excited about what's happening on the other side that we completely miss things. And believe it or not, when I used to attack, many times I would focus only on one side and I would completely forget about the other side. So this one really helped me a lot. So C4, nahi, E2, Queen E2, says Nafis. Now Queen E2 was a, yes, very natural move. You're putting pressure over here, keeping an eye on E6, but then C3 is lost. So actually for Nodirbek, not many moves. Queen E3 or Rook D1. Not many moves. Anything else like Queen D3, C4 is happening. Wow, in fact, Nodirbek really is struggling. Naisha says Delhi में करवाओ rated tournament. Yes, slow and steady, getting a lot of experience here about how to do some nice tournaments in a nice way with so many people, community also coming together. It's easier now that way. Earlier it was very difficult to think about it, so I'm sure that it would happen very soon. We also have few team members in Delhi, so it's very nice. No, Aditya, I didn't watch. I don't know. I did not enjoy much initially after some time, but I could have seen, but I didn't watch. But really loved some of the parts of the aesthetics, the cinematography, and all that. Rook c1 you want to go later after queen e3 so that you want to free the queen. Okay, I get it. What can black do here? Because oh, what if d4 takes knight takes d4? What's the move? Many moves actually to attack the knight. Queen b6, queen d6. So d4 is a possibility, but Deac down to 1 minute. He's below 1 minute. He will get 30 seconds with every move, but still this is pressure there. Black to play, guys. It's black to play right now. d4 is good. I like d4. It's more simplifying. I don't like c4 though, but because knight d4 and knights are the best blockaders. Rook e8. Can you... Rook e8 is a problem because this is hanging. And if rook c8, defending this, then you are okay. You bring your other rook over here. Wow, 17 seconds with Deac. That is going very less and less. It's amazing that after Pragg and Gukesh game is over, we do have so many people here right now watching this important moment. Rook e8 has been played by Deac, saying that, oh, you can take this pawn. Actually, I completely discarded this move because I thought queen takes c5, but I forgot that after queen c5, knight c5, black is regaining the pawn with bishop takes c3, attacking here. But I love the knight, which is putting pressure here on a6. And what if I go rook d1? Because now d5 is attacked and a6 is attacked. It's a double attack, but with double pieces. So both of them are attacked. And black, how is he going to save one of the pawn? Or is Deac becoming ambitious, saying that I will go d4 because, my pawn, a passer, a straightforward passer. If you take the pawn on a6, I don't have d3. If I go rook e2, it looks slow. If I go rook a8, then you have knight c5. What could be a nice move here? Yes, there is a nice move actually. What is a nice move here? Black to play. I mean, there are many possible moves, but still, what to play? How to decide whether to trade the bishop with the knight? Aditya, this is an endgame, and over here, your bishop, it's an open position. Rook and bishop is a better combination than rook and knight. Certain general principles definitely help you, but it's important to keep in mind that you need to reach a stage where you know where to break the rules, when to break the principles, and that is what these guys are good at. नाइशा से कल स्कूल है और 11th है. 11th स्कूल नहीं बोलते हमारे इधर. ओके, बट मे बी वहाँ पे. नाइशा मस्त सो जाओ. Yes, there are too many draws, cannot be denied for sure. What to do? Knight a6. क्या खेलोगे? Rook e5. Okay, you want to control knight c5. It's a possible move definitely, but is there a better move anyone suggested? Not really. Maybe bishop d4 and rook e2. You already... Rook c8, because you do stop knight c5 and also knight c7, and now, as of now, this knight cannot go anywhere. Yes, if you try to trap it, it can definitely run away with knight b8. So it's not that white is losing a piece, but with rook c8, the movement of this knight is restricted, and now you're bringing your king closer. Oops, king closer. So rook e8 has been played, and Nodirbek down to 6 minutes. I think he will play queen c5. He will have to play queen c5, because if he doesn't play queen c5, then he has to move the queen where it will defend the c3 pawn. And where does he go? Because again queen f... this repetition is possible. Oh, this repetition is possible. No, but Nodirbek goes queen c5. Queen takes c5. Knight c5. We are reaching this position. Bishop takes c3. Well-wisher says, man, it should not be a draw. We're all hoping it shouldn't be. But Nodirbek makes a quick move, rook d1 and d4, everything like we were looking at. Is he going to capture the rook pawn? Because Deac has gained some time, moved to almost 2 minutes. Nodirbek also gained time and now at 7 minutes 40 seconds. साकार से पनवेल जाने वाला दिखता नहीं है. Earlier everyone was like पनवेल जाना है जल्दी खेलो. Yeah, I think a lot of people in the chat, your college would have started, right? It's like just the perfect time for June end and July where the holidays are over and the college begins. How do you find that? Do you find it exciting or do you find a holiday is more exciting? Or is it a stupid question? Not sure. But knight a6 played by Nodirbek. I am 100% sure Deac is going to go with rook c8. Aditya says, I got IIT Patna. Wow. Winter Bear says, I'm in school 11th. Moksh says, I started a new account a month ago on chess.com and reached 1500. Superb. Preetham says it's bad. What? College starting in 3 days. Okay. Too many students. I'm also so many in 11th standard. Maybe that's why you guys are watching, because those who are in 10th and 12th are not, right now watching because they must be studying, I believe. Rook a8 played, not rook e8, and Nodirbek goes knight c5. Nodirbek is actually a pawn up for the moment, but now the knight is attacked. When the knight will be moved, rook takes a4. So materially equal. Rook goes to b1. And the engine says this is the slight initiative for white for the reason of your king is weak, but I completely don't get it. 1 second. Rook b1. Rook a1 is just a draw, yeah? This should be a draw. What else? If king g7 or if king f7, check. And then the problem is you again have to go back to g8. So not king g... What if king g7? If you give a check, then king h6 so that this is defended. And there you go. This can create a bit of trouble. White to play. What's a good move? This is something which has to be generally taken care of whenever there is a rook and knight and a pawn. You see the bishop is completely out of any defense on the king's side. So it doesn't help there. The rook is on this side. But the king can actually be almost fighting against the rook and the knight with some of the meeting ideas. Arre bapre, so many people in the chat while I was discussing things. Shaili says I'm in 10th, 12th, bapre. Savan says I got IIT Kharagpur. IIT has an amazing chess culture, there is no doubt. Aditya says I study in Nepal, but CBSE board. IIT Dholakpur. Adik, well done. H4, what a move. You really giving some threats here to the king. First of all, what is black going to do? If, let's say I give a check, king g2, I do nothing. Yeah, I go rook d1. Suddenly, this king doesn't have any square. Yeah, it is, you just want to cover some square so that you are able to try and give a checkmate. Either with g4, g5, rook takes h7, you see this pattern. Or right now this knight is attacked. So let's say knight e5 over here with the threat of knight. I have some ideas, but where do I see the checkmate? Knight g4 check, you have king h5 and knight f6 check and rook h7. Okay, this one. Oops. So g5 would be forced. And then does it help? Anyway, I have knight f7 check. वैसे भी I can take on g5 if nothing. So this can get dangerous. So rook takes a4, rook b1, rook goes to a2. Deac in time pressure can mess it up. He played his last move and he had 3 seconds. Look at this. Then he got the 30 seconds increment and now it is 33 seconds. So Nodirbek making sure that he's putting full pressure over there. I believe he will first give a check, then go rook b7 check, and mostly it could be wise for this king after a check to remain on g8 and say I'm not really worried about the cutoff, because who's going to take the advantage of this cutoff? Whenever the knight starts coming in, firstly with so much space around my king, you don't have mating ideas, and then I have the d pawn which you might need to worry about. So yeah, that does look good. King g7, rook b7 check. Let's see what Deac is going to play here. Let's see. Sanjeev Kumar says, hi Amruta, yesterday only I came to know that GM Vishnu Prasanna resides in the same society where I am residing for last 2 years. Arey Sanjeev Kumar, wow, that is such a great news. In fact, it's amazing that you are in the same society. Raghavi and Vishnu, very, very close friends of ours. It's amazing. I visited their place, so in a way now I know your society. We visited their place. And they have an academy in Chennai. It's I think right now I don't know the address, but yeah, they have a very cool academy. Amazing. King G8. It's in Anna Nagar. Okay. I remember once, I don't know which place was it, but Raghavi had, taken us to a restaurant where there was this hot chocolate. It was so good. It was so amazingly good that I keep telling her that that is one reason I want to come to Chennai. Because I did not find something like that over here in Mumbai. King G2. So Nodirbek is waiting and waiting. 49 seconds for Deac. But what I found out today in the last few minutes, we have a lot of people in around 10th, 11th, 12th, and in IIT, maybe recently taken admission. Guys, just be dedicated, whatever you do, make sure about that. Okay, rook d2 has been played. Now the knight must move. Is this pawn going to get dangerous? You know, this is the only game where in a way there is a chance that there can be a decisive result because of the mistakes. Guys, what are your plans for International Chess Day on 20th July? There's still around 16 days to go. What are your plans? Yes, Nightbot does mention that we are having our first FIDE rating rapid tournament in Mumbai. ChessBase India's first Mumbai rapid event, but FIDE rating. But the first FIDE rating event was held in Bhopal. Nikhilesh Jain, as you all know, ChessBase India Hindi, and he does such a beautiful job in managing that. Preetham says my plan was to reach 1000 on International Chess Day. Wow, क्या decide करके रखा है? Interesting. Winterberry says I was dedicated in science field, but now I regret after taking PCM. I bet that is physics, chemistry, mathematics, or I'm very bad at educational degrees and all that. Knight f4 and h4 are good moves. He did go knight c5. I find it decent, but knight f4, I think he wanted to go knight e6 or maybe even knight e5. Looks good. The knight is happy to go everywhere actually. So knight c5, and if you play d3, let's say, let me ask if it is a blunder. No, there is no knight e4, because if you go knight e4, rook c2, and then you take here, rook d7, should be okay, nothing dangerous. So rook goes to d1 first, and then anyway knight e4 I am expecting. Do you know this idea of, a draw with rook and knight against the king? So there is this interesting pattern which has been given in this book, My System. It's by Nimzowitsch, and it was one of the first books where he had, like, right now we're talking about imbalances, and that was like the first one where he put all these different elements about open file and how rooks on 7th rank and such things. So knight e4, let me just give you an example. If this goes over here, this is hanging. Let me just push the pawn here. Now you give a check. Now of course it's a big blunder. Rook at 7 check. So the king goes here, and if you give a check, the king goes here. Let's say if black wants to try, as an example, yeah, he has a chance to go king f8 and it's a draw. If black wants to try, he can go here, and this time this check is no mate because the king escapes. So a drawing mechanism here is actually to go rook d7. And if these two squares cannot be controlled, then you cannot stop this draw with repetition. Whatever you do, there is draw with repetition, because this knight defends the rook. So this is a very nice, defensive pattern. Sometimes it's like you will find studies where finally the pawn becomes a queen, but it's perpetual. So yeah, knight e4 happening on the board. h6 played. Let's see, maybe we can look at that. Yes, that's physics, chemistry, and mathematics. Chalo, अच्छे से, at least I guessed it. So that is cool. Oh, he goes king f3. So Nodirbek is basically saying that I believe with my rook and knight, I could try to, checkmate you. So that's cool. Which year was it held? First FIDE rated. That was held just, I think last month, if I'm not wrong. Nikhilesh, yeah, last month. Oh, Sawan, that would be long back. More than, we're going to be now celebrating 16 years together. The funny part is that Deac sometimes is coming to 3 and 4 seconds and making a move. And Nodirbek, though they are using a lot of time with the 30 seconds, 2-3 moves you play and then you get 2 minutes. Tomorrow, the last round, actually, the timings are normally changed, but I believe for this tournament it's the same time. And what's the day tomorrow? Friday or Saturday? It's Friday. And I think Sagar is also visiting. There is this gift of chess, which is a very nice initiative happening in the world, where they are going to be, gifting a lot of chess sets. So it is a nice one, and I think tomorrow Sagar is going there, and uh, he will definitely have some um, vlog coming up soon about that beautiful initiative happening. So many people are doing so many things in so many different ways, but all of them so beautiful. It is, it is truly kind of an era where it feels very very different because of all such people coming together. H4, and so he's now gone bishop A5 over here. Wow, I think what Nodirbek is basically going to try is to win this pawn, which, yeah, which doesn't seem likely. Rook B5. What is happening? What is happening? Does he want to go bishop C7? Does he want to go bishop C3 back? Because even the F2, which is the base of the pawn chain, important is that the knight defends it. So that's a good thing for white. But Nodirbek is like, no, I don't want a drawing mechanism. Please don't tell me all of that. 7 seconds to Deac. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, what has he played? With 4 seconds on the clock, he goes rook A1. Only thing for him to take care literally is a fork. He should make sure that he's taking care of that. And now for the fork idea, a move can be knight c5 with the threat of knight b3, but then there is also rook a3, so that doesn't really help. Then you want to cover the rank again, then you want to go rook b7. That's again nothing much. Okay, it is a draw. We are definitely not arguing here whether it is or not, but let's see. Conqueror says, I'm 24. Is it too late to start chess? Absolutely not. It's never too late to start chess, even if you're 80 or 100 or 120. Doesn't matter. But the point is, if you talk about the progress when you start, the later you start, generally the progress is slower. But chess also has, sometimes it also depends. Yeah, like you do something and you just, when you started it, you are already having the knack of it, so you are able to progress faster. So a person who likes mathematics and calculations and is good at pattern recognition is generally able to get some of the concepts of chess quicker that way, even if you start later. So for example, a person who is a very quick decision maker, when he starts playing chess, he's learning it at a later age. He's also able to be having some amazing advantage because of his decision making skills. So that is something which is always there. The progress, if you compare in terms of these top players, it will definitely be wrong to do that, and it shouldn't happen that way. You should do it more for the sake of that you really love the game, you're enjoying, and you should look at it as a hobby or more like an amateur kind of a thing to begin with. And then very important that you've started late, you have a lot of other things as well, other activities, other skills by then, so you can try to take it slow and steady. But if you really really want to focus only on chess, then those kind of decisions are always going to be tough. You have to consider all the aspects in broader sense and very objectively. Mullin says, throughout this tournament, you missed Magnus's entertaining chess. Admit it. Of course. Anywhere where Magnus is not there, we're going to miss him. I mean, This is, nothing to say, like nothing to really fear to say. Obviously, we all love Magnus and his play. Oh, Frustrated Sharks has contributed for the first time. Thank you. Thank you so much. Frustrated Sharks. Seems to be a fan of Shakhriyar Mamedyarov. Conqueror says, I only like this game because how much it helps in real life. Oh, that is something very, very true. By the way, check, king goes to e4, attacks this guy. Now bishop e1 is played. He attacks this and it's like a big pawn chain, like you will collect all of them. So the knight goes to d3 and make sure that he defends this and attacks this thing. So can I go bishop c3? But then this king is really going to advance. But he goes rook a2 with 3 seconds on his clock. He goes rook a2 so that if this is taken, he wants to give a check. And if the king takes the pawn, he wants to win the piece back. This time he's a pawn down. But the king is on the shorter side when, these exchanges will happen. White will have an extra pawn. But for now, it's cut off. Can you go rook e5 there? But then rook f1, you attack this base of the pawn chain. If rook e2, then king comes to g7. Okay, theoretically it's draw, but then you have to remember that time is less and you have to keep defending in that time. Anish, Gukesh, all other 4 games have been a draw, guys. Nightbot says explore our new chess activity books for a colorful, engaging way to learn chess. Exactly, guys. That would be really amazing if you are able to. Whenever you think of gifting the little guys, then or girls, then do think of chess activity books and chess main book. It's really nice. It's also at a discounted price. And today we had a birthday of Sagar's nephew, and that's what we gifted him. So it solved a lot of problem, gifting problem. Can you tell us about the standings? Standings, I think Caruana was leading before this game, and because all of them are drawn, the second place was Alireza until yesterday. Then it was Pragg, and then it was Gukesh. So I don't think standing perspectives are going to change much. But Nodirbek and Deac, Nodirbek, I don't remember his points. Deac cannot catch up yet. But Nodirbek, I don't remember. King, rook a3 check. Rook a3, it's a pin. King goes to e4 again. And the computer says that if you sack your rook, and you take this pawn, attack here, keep this defended, you cannot really support the g3 pawn. This is a simple draw. You give this, and it's a simple draw. But I doubt if Deac will go for something like that. As of now, rook a2 has been played. The same idea you cannot take. So he attacks here, threatening rook takes e1. But now if you play bishop takes f2, it's a big blunder because of that's a trap set. White to play, guys. White to play. What's the trap? Yes, Technotic, Adinath, Mahan, Eminem Adinath. Yes, rook f1, and there you go. There is a pin. The king on f8 doesn't really help. So the bishop goes to c3. And that was a trap that you couldn't really take it. So bishop on c3. Deac this time has made the move quickly. d4 is protected. This knight cannot move. f2 is under pressure. So he goes and attacks the g6 pawn. And black is going to defend with king g7. But at some point, he might have to consider ideas with knight e5, rook g6 check. Yeah, king g7. Not now. Can we just push this pawn to f3? Is that possible? But bishop e1 still exists. Maybe g4 and maybe to keep the pawn on light square. How is that idea? Actually, Nodirbek does have a lot of possibility to exert more pressure. When you are seeing this, even if it is a draw, if it happens, imagine it's your own blitz game. This is how you can actually keep putting pressure. Slow and steady. It's a lot to learn from these players. Rook e2, rook d2, draw incoming. Oh, is it? If you give a check, okay, g4 on the board. Now, if rook e2 check, yeah, where's the king going to go? It's a question. If king f3, rook d2. And look at this. That would be a big blunder. Actually, that would be a big blunder. Whoa. Why is it a blunder? White to play. Chirag says hello. Happy that the stream is still on. Just came from work, joining from Germany. Kya baat hai, Germany. Chirag, great to have you here. We are in the very last phase. We have been looking at this game. It was supposed to be ending in a draw since a while, but these guys are fighting and we are learning from their fight. Adinath, Mahan, Reshmi, Aditya, Neha, Winter. No, not 95. Sorry. All those who have said knight f4. Is there a difference? Let's try to understand. But knight f4, look at this. This is attacked. And if g5 would be played, then you take, and there is check, and you're going to pick this pawn. Is there any way for black to exert more pressure on f2? No. So this is attacked and you cannot really defend it, so you're losing a pawn. But if you play knight e5, the problem is d3. So why was this not a problem earlier is something we need to understand. If now rook g6, the king goes to h7, defends this. And if let's say this rook moves away to, no, this is hanging. Okay, so that is the simple reason. With d3, you are attacking this knight, and that's the main problem. Easily knight f4 was important, because if you play d3 now, after rook g6 check, king h7, you are simply a pawn up, plus this pawn will be attacked. So in the game, after g5, bishop g4, bishop e1 was played, and white goes a check, the king goes back to g8. He's thinking 2 minutes 24. Frustrated Sharks super chats. I'm stuck on 2000 rating. Array, 2000 rating is first of all a very good rating already you are having. I believe there are a few things which you can try to see. One is intermezzos. Yeah, intermezzos are generally the moves which might be missing. Like you can try to improve more understanding in that. Exchanges would also at this level matter a lot. Are you exchanging the right pieces? The right minor pieces with the right minor pieces. Sometimes we tend to release the tension in the center, whenever there are two pawns in front of each other, like, yaar, maar do, just, don't want this tension. So, is that a problem? There's so many questions there, frustrated Sharks, that you can try to check out all your 50 games and try to find a pattern. I'm sure with this rating, you definitely have that understanding that you, with a more intense research on your own games, you would be able to find patterns. And once you find them, then you know that you know the weakness and you know how to work on it by searching on Google. I mean, you will find a lot of videos based on about those topics, or books, let's say. In fact, there is a book on intermezzo, which is, I don't know if it is something which I was looking at to order, or do we already have in the shop? I am just with so many books which I went through. It's very difficult to remember that, but it's a very interesting book which I am going to recommend to many people. I believe that is one of the problems, to miss intermediate moves. Yes, watch Imbalance Theory. Mustafa, thanks for reminding that. Sagar has this imbalance theory with and also Slow and Steady with Biswa. I think that would really help. Okay, so coming back to this position, until now black is managing to not lose a pawn. And the game goes on. Rook d7, d4 is attacked. Again, do you go bishop c3, or do you want to... You can't keep the bishop over here. It would be a blunder because of the g6 and the b6 double attack. So rook d7. Or do you just give a check? Yeah, he gives a check. And for king f3, can you not go rook... No, rook a3, rook d4 ना, अभी तो ये hanging है. Yes, Sharks, I hope you heard, what all things we just discussed, and I'm sure you will be able to apply. 2 months is not really stuck. It is very common. Even if you see any chess player, rising chess players graph, you would find some few months where they would be stagnant. But majorly, they're also working on some new understandings, new openings sometimes. Sometimes you get some new knowledge and to try and be able to apply it effectively does take some time. Any skill for that matter. The threat is always rook d6 followed by... Yes, man, as we have seen, if you get this rook d6 and if you get knight f4 with a good timing, perfect timing, then white is winning a pawn. And then he's winning. So it's just a matter of one mistake. So normally there are positions which are dead draw where we know they can defend. But here Nodirbek has seen this plan and he knows that. He needs one chance. This one chance when everything has to fall in place, where Deac is down to 1 second. He has to make a quick move and the harmony is broken over here. So with this in mind, I think Nodirbek is trying, but he is also down to 2 minutes now. Bishop c3 has been the last move, and Deac, I believe he has been defending amazingly because it is very much possible to go wrong. Viral says, how can I get a chessboard in Nepal? Yes, definitely you can order it. And you can write there in the comment that yes, it will, Sagar can autograph that and send it. By the way, Nightbot says follow ChessBase India on Instagram. And yes, guys, do follow on Instagram, but make sure that you are not wasting a lot of time on Instagram and reels and all that. Because I know many people who sometimes go to Instagram for 2 minutes but then end up 2 hours spending time scrolling through the reels. It's like when like maybe you had a end of the day and then you are going there for some time, it's different. Or maybe you're looking at reels because you're an editor, you want to learn, it's different. Of course the reason matters, but if you are looking at it completely just as time pass, literally with no motive, literally with non-productive, then please go right now, check, see yourself in the mirror, ask yourself what am I doing, then uninstall Instagram. It's okay even if you don't follow ChessBase India, but make sure that you don't do that. It's really otherwise missing out on some amazing skills that all of you have with you and you're not doing anything about it. रोहित says आज तो पूरा मुंबई सड़क पे था, आप लोग क्यों नहीं गए? I am not such a huge cricket fan, so I would not go anyway. I do not know about Sagar. It would be very nice. In fact, today, his dad was telling that in 1983, when India had won, that he was in Worli, and at that point of time, also they had this from the airport, this kind of a procession, and It was amazing. So yeah, very interesting. After so many years, I can't believe it would be a beautiful thing for people also to be able to meet the players, and also for them with so many fans around. I think it was something amazing which happened today. Yeah, what did he play? Check, King G7. Check, he's not getting the chance. If whenever rook b6 is happening, King G7, and when you go knight f4, when your king is not on f3, then there is also rook f2. So it's a lot of things need to come together. As we say, like things need to fall in place. And Deac is saying, I won't let that happen. And in fact, Nodirbek is now having lesser time than Deac eventually. Abiral says Amruta 1000 currently. Suggest the best book that can get me rating climb faster. I'm doing the Silman book now. Any other? Which Silman? Are you doing the endgame or reassess? Abipsa says I don't have Instagram. Sadly, nahi. It's fine. It's nice. Also, Mustafa says I've never used Instagram in my life. Ooh, kya baat hai? Crazy. Shubham says he's just started playing chess. Whose video should I? Are there's so many people making some amazing content there. Mustafa says I was stuck on 1600 for over an year. Now went up to 1900 in less than a month and still going strong. See, you kept playing. When you keep playing, you are developing a kind of intuition. It always reflects. It does reflect sooner or later, especially when you somehow you have so much attachment rating. Sometimes it doesn't reflect because you just have to, that's always that kind of some kind of a pressure which also stops you from gaining the rating because your focus is wrong. Focusing on rating can never be right. Focusing on improvement, yes. Yeah, what was Silman's end game? Okay, you have the end game book. That is very nice. I believe you would have understood the concepts of opposition. It's the most important one to help you calculate any time, and all the theoretical endgames, some queen base, all basic endgames for sure, like rook versus pawn, queen versus pawn, all pawns on 7th rank, all pawns on 6th rank, the zones of the king. I hope you've got all of that. If yes, and some theoretical rook endgames, and if yes, if you've studied that well, I would recommend you a few books. Let me give it a thought. By the way, this time the king defends this. Knight f4 could be in the air, but one thing is after g5 takes, there is no check. So the king on h7 is a better one. So rook e6 has been played. He couldn't go knight f4 because of. Can you not play g5? Yeah, you can play g5, but maybe even h5 is possible. Very funnily, even h5 is possible because if you take a knight takes g6, sorry, if you take takes first and knight takes h5, then this pawn jumps to d3, and you have to worry about that for sure. If you take directly knight takes g6, then there is a g4, and then f2 is also going to be lost, and also d pawn you have to worry. But so now king on h7 makes a huge difference, yeah, with instead of king on g7. That's important. So he goes rook a3. White is thinking. Wait a second, let me. Yeah, there is also a book, Python Strategy, by the way. That's also very nice. Uh, really nice book. Not very basic at all, but um, I'll share a few more books. Wait a second, but for now, what's going on in the game? Bishop d2, king g2. Now the king goes back to g2, and this time the bishop is on d2. Okay, Deac is definitely going to defend, but he's been playing a long game. I love the fighting attitude of both the players. Ramesh's book is very nice. Ramesh's book on improving chess is very nice. Then we also have how to reassess is, yeah, maybe that can be a good combination. If you think that you really liked Silman's endgame book, I would say that you can look at either Silman's Reassess Your Chess, because there you almost have it like a coach in that book. Even My System is a book which I really love, where he gives some elements, but with Silman's Reassess also it should be good enough to try and study one chapter. With he's given about knights, when the knights are good, when bishops are good, when bishop versus knight, which piece is better in what kind of positions. So everything, you basically start understanding the minor pieces, the squares, uh, the king weakness. A lot of elements are there and in one book. So Silman's Reassess Your Chess and Endgame would be like a perfect thing for you to really work seriously. Yes, wow, Mustafa, that one is you got the best books. Super cool. Why? I don't understand that why you're unable to read 100 एंड गेम्स बिकॉज ऑफ वुडपेकर. ऐसा क्या किया वुडपेकर ने बोला वो दूसरे बुक को खोलो मत. Okay, g5. Finally, we have a big change on the board. g5 played by Deac with 5 seconds on the clock. Now, bar shows slight initiative like it was showing. But really, is there anything much? Rook e7 check because you don't have king g6. Which means that the king has to go back to g8. Not king h8. What's the move, guys? White to play. Let's see how many of you are awake. Kartikeya asks, this GCD is so boring, all draws. Do you think it will affect chess? This will not affect chess. I think because of the draws, their formats, they will change and they will improve. Nothing needs to be like a fixed rule, yeah? So it's a great thing that they would definitely make some improvements in time control. Unless they're not even looking at making it spectator friendly, and it's more so from the player perspective, then this time control definitely helps the players. Mustafa says Sagar's imbalance theory plus woodpecker method worked as a deadly combo. I think I had completely forgotten about the imbalance theory. That is a good one. But the move here, did anyone suggest knight f7? Everyone wants to go knight f7, but that's not the move because knight f7, king g8, and you wanted to give a check, king f8, but afterwards there is gh4 and it attacks. So the right move was, ooh, you missed it. No, not even knight g6, king g8. Not even knight g6. The fork, knight c4. You are attacking both these guys. Rook a2, defending this. And wow. Oh my god. How? And you simply take the bishop and tell your opponent that after takes, rook e5, your king cannot defend this guy. It's too far for you. And I'm going to win this rook endgame because two connected passers against your one. I know this is theoretically winning endgame because the king is going to march here, take the pawn, and these two will stay on the board. So it was a very tough one because it appeared out of nowhere. He went h5, That could have been his best chance, but he goes h5, and now this bishop is very happy out of the pawn chain, also stopping f4 forever. Knight goes to g6, bishop c1, make sure to get away from the knight. d3, this pawn is being pushed, and I believe we are also slowly being pushed towards the end of the game. Woodpecker is like tactics, tactics, tactics. So which one is boring? Ah, the 100 endgames. Okay, it could be, but it is needed. Like, it also depends on the way you solve it. Like, why do you find it boring? Let's say if you put a position and you keep a limited time to think, it cannot be, no? It's the best 100 positions. But okay, sometimes some books are a little bit at the wrong time, or you don't feel interested in them. That can happen. And at some sudden point, when especially that sudden point happens when we lose an important game, end game, and then we're like, अरे यार क्या लिखा है end game book में? Then we try to understand. That could also work. But I hope that doesn't happen with you. Yes, Levi Roseman's How to Win at Chess for Absolute Beginners is very good. Ajay says, I'm addicted. Yeah, I don't know how time passes while I'm watching reels. You give out such a positive vibe. Yes, I think it's very important to make sure to understand the time which exists, and to understand really what you really love to do. I see many people feeling later guilty. अरे बाप रे मैंने इतना टाइम इधर सोचा ही नहीं था डालूंगी, but डाल दिया types, you know. Shouldn't happen that way. Self restraint really is an important quality, and then it becomes more not like a sacrifice which you're doing, because what is sacrifice is something which देखो मैंने क्या किया, you know, that kind of a thing. It just becomes more on a auto scale. It should become that automatic. King h8. Okay, is he going to repeat? Maybe now, because with the bishop on f4, really, with this blocked pawn chain, abhi kuch nahi raha. I mean, hoping so. Yes, that is true. It does require concentration. Uh, but because you find them tough, what you can do is, if it is the time factor which is not allowing you to look at those positions, you should simply not even worry too much about going into deep calculation. You can just take like 2 to 3 minutes, because you have less time, and then try to think what you would do, and then just check the answer. And then like that you can look at all the 100 positions, which would take you every day some 15-20 minutes maybe at the most. Eventually you've seen all the 100 positions, and then you come back to it. What is, in a way, woodpecker method style? Yeah, what is woodpecker method? He said that in that book the main concept was, by the way, it's important to give a check, otherwise this pawn is rushing. Yeah, of course he will do that. And a woodpecker method says that you solve the whole book, then you solve it, resolve it with less time in hand, and then you resolve it. So you do it again and again and again. Basically, practice makes man perfect kind of a thing, or the patterns really are going into your head kind of a thing. So similar to the 100 end games as well. But what I mean to say is, you have a great book with you, so you can try to solve at least a few ones. Yeah, now this one's going to be a draw. I believe Nodirbek is going to repeat. Whoa. That was the penultimate round of Romania. There's going to be this BL event which is happening where Pragg is going to be playing. It is in July. I think it will start from 13 July, and they have a nice format because over there they have like the classical, the rapid, and the blitz, and they will be counting the all the points. So of all the formats. Yeah, 10 seconds, 9, 8, 7. He does give a check. I think it was a third time, yeah? Yeah. Getting repeated. हो गया नौदिरबेक, अभी ड्रॉ हो गया है. चलो चले. अच्छा ट्राई किया तूने, मजा आ गया. Yes, you can absolutely do that. In fact, many of the tough positions, otherwise people don't touch it. So the fear is like, यार इसमें बहुत time जाएगा. So just you can look at the things for its beauty, the understanding. And there we have the draw. Great fight. They tried their best to make, one result decisive. It's not happening, but still, they tried. They tried for us. And you guys were here. It was very cool to see this with you. The pairings for tomorrow also has the leaderboard updated. Yeah, Caruana on 5, Gukesh on 4.5, Pragg on 4.5, and Ali on 4.5. And for tomorrow, we have Anish versus Fabi, Wesley versus Gukesh, Deac versus MVL, Nepo versus Abdusattorov, and Pragg versus Firouzja. That's it for today. GM Hanesh Ravi Kumar says I'm 12 years old, 1748 FIDE. डेनमार्क में कोई टिप्स खेल रहा है, समझा नहीं. But I guess you're 12 years old and I guess you're from Denmark. Am I right? But I'm not sure. Aditya says, Arey, you're JE aspirant and I think you guys are, while you're watching live games, this one, make sure. Oh, one more tip, very important. We have some games on ChessBase India. You can actually try to pull on the old games where Pragg is playing with Vishy. He's very little with a lot of Tata Steel. Maybe you can check those games out where you can see them playing nice angle. There's no commentary, there's no moves. Just try to think what's your next move is going to be, and you can see just one game a day. And then try to see how much it is matching. Obviously, don't expect that it should match, but just for the understanding of it, you won't know how exactly, in what way exactly, but that's going to help you. ठीक है, so that was it guys. मज़ा आ गया. अरे thank you boy, bestie. Take care. See you tomorrow. कल मिलते हैं लास्ट राउंड के लिए, तो मिलते ही है. We all will have a lot of fun with watching the final game. There is definitely a big chance that Pragg or Gukesh can win the tournament. It all depends. Tomorrow can become more like a do or die thing. देखते हैं क्या होता है. For now, good night all of you.